Yo, what's going on everybody? Xanthos Vice here, and we are back with some more Punishing Grey Raven. I hope you guys are having a great day so far. Where we last left off, we had finally finished Han Ying's floating record. And it was kind of interesting, although it doesn't really lead us too much into everything that she's been doing within the Church of Oakley. We at least established the relationship between them, as well as actually getting to learn more about her connection with Kula, right? Like, the fact that she was accepted into Kowloon, even with people knowing that she was from the Church of Machina, that question was kind of like in the back of my mind for a while, and actually understanding why that was the case, I'm glad that was reiterated on, and me finally understanding how Fu Shen ended up becoming a boss. And again, I am kind of surprised that he actually transformed, because like I said, when I face him in like PPC and stuff like that, he's never really transformed, so the fact that I actually had to like go through that for the first time, it was a bit shocking. But now we still got a couple floating records to go through before I am like almost all caught up with the game. I know, there's still interlude stuff, and I will get to that at some point. Just won't be for now. And also sorry for doing this extremely late. I don't know why. I'm just like, I was a bit tired earlier today. I honestly have no reason in particular for it, but yeah. Anyway, we are finally going to go ahead into Noctis's floating record, the Sands of Wrath. I mean, to be fair, this has been a long time coming, because we've been through 2 number 21 chapters, 2 Vera chapters, yet only now do we actually try to, like, go more in depth about Noctis, you know? It's like, he's been left out for so damn long. Even in the main story, he's not really, like, doing much, and yet now I'm finally going to learn more about him, so yeah. Gonna see how far we can get into this. Probably not gonna be too crazy, but we'll see. Heavy breath pump air into the frame, breathe the heavy odor of construct vital fluid and the sensitive smell. For constructs, breathe is not a necessary activity, but right now it's the remaining human instincts that are still holding him up. Pushing himself up with his remaining right arms, doubled toward the cliff's edge where the person he must kill awaits. Gnashing his teeth, he throws a punch at the man struggling to get on his feet, only to find his opponent still maintain that infuriating silence like he always knew. Silent, preserved, calm, and reliable as always, his one only brother. Yet, that silence is deeply hurting him at this very moment. He's unable to vent his anger and sorrow. Clenching his teeth, Noctis picks up the heavily damaged katana and holds it up, trembling. Okay then. Just die! Sorry, it's been a while since I've done the Noctis voice, so I don't really remember what voice I gave him. Noctis, reclining on a lounge chair for a midday nap, is abruptly startled awake by his own sneeze. The first sight that greets him is number 21, clutching her tail and baring her sharp teeth in a threatening display. Hey, I didn't do anything. Hold on. Just reach up to touch his nose and find a strand of white fur resting upon it. Isn't this your tail fur, 21? Put your damn tail in my face again, you little jerk. The one I could breathe during my nap. My nose was itching like hell. 21 shifts her gaze and hides her fluffy tail behind her body. I don't know, but Noctis sneezed at my tail. Gross. The captain said anyone who's not clean should be punished. Alright, let's see who's gonna get themselves punished in the end. As usual, the two maintain an air of hostility, poised to spring into action and confront each other at a moment's notice. At a brief stand-up, the tension dissipates as number 21's arched back gradually relaxes. She lowers herself onto the floor, stretching her body in a display of boredom, while Noctis releases a wary sigh and unclenches his fist. I'm not feeling up to anything right now. I want to go outside and play. Due to number 21's unauthorized release of her frame restraints during the event ahead of her zone, she and her squad become the target of the most troublesome faction, the Control Court. Oh, I see. So after her latest chapter, got it. Right, because she did kind of have to, like, release the restraints in order to escape that prison. Well, not prison, but to escape that the heterozone. Okay, the control court's watching them. Well, then again, I guess they are the most reliable force to kind of, like, keep them away from all of that. Before the control court reaches a conclusion, the members of Cerberus must remain confined to a restricted area surrounding the lounge. A21. Caught wind of what those control court guys were saying, right? If they actually find the evidence, what's going to happen to Vera? Lying on the floor, number 21 drew. Her ears droop as she idly gathers the scattered drink cans. A silence envelops the room before she finally opens her mouth to speak. The pink-haired person with a strange vibe said, "If it's true, I'll be removed from the squad for investigation." Or, they'll dismiss Captain from her position, making her leave. Number 21 blinks, her gaze shifting toward the door of the Cerberus Lounge. Today marks the final day of the Control Court's investigation, yet Vera, who had gone to the Control Court, had not returned. If they managed to endure this day, the Control Court would no longer have any right to intervene in the affairs of the task force. I don't want to be away from Captain. That's why he's just a little kid who can't live without Vera. Tasmanian number 21's typical response to being provoked by his words and starting a bickering match knocked us taken aback when instead she meets his gaze with a serious expression, shaking her head. It's not true. I'm different now. It's not because I can't live without the squad or Captain, but I want to stay here and be by Captain's side. Different now? Good talk, huh? Noctis playfully tosses an empty drink can he holds into the air, watches it gracefully rolls through the air. She chance it lands perfectly on top of the pile of cans the number 21 is just stacked up. Oh, see that, 21? Isn't that impressive? Noctis, you're too bored. You don't understand. It's very hard for my new arm to pull off movements this precise. Like so a series of punches into the air, generating a powerful gust of wind that causes a nearby pile of cans to teeter on the verge of collapse. Pleased by the display of his own ability, he nods with a sense of satisfaction. What do you think? Output's not bad, right? Number 21 squints her eyes, her mouth forming a pound as she observes his actions. Her tail curls around the pile of cans, shielding them from the force of Noctis' strikes. Claws are still better. Shortly after their return from the gruesome forest, much to everyone's surprise, Noctis made a request to the Science Council asking them to replace his left arm with a full-coverage robotic arm. As if he had a premonition. The elbow joint still feels off. That could cause me trouble. Hey, 21, you ain't tied here. I gotta swing by the Science Council and sort this out. You can't. Captain said we can't get caught by the bad guys at the Control Court. We can't leave the lounge before she comes back. That's not my concern. The Control Court's got their sights set on you, not me. Noctis' opinion holds true. Throughout the entire investigation, the Control Quarters remained oblivious to his presence. And of course, no one would notice that he didn't walk toward the Science Council after leaving the lounge. It probably also has to do with the fact that both number 21 and Vera, at least that I know of, have some connection to Kurino, right? So, making it even harder for them to be denounced as completely innocent, and only because the moment had them, like, go to desperate measures, like Noctis, who I don't know anything about. Along the periphery of the Task Force lounge area, vacant offices are available for individuals and teams to use for proper authorization. However, inevitably, some people will just occupy them without seeking permission. Among all the things that can be seen around these parts, humans are the rarest to be found. However, today, one of the offices is illuminated with light. A blond young man is engrossed in reading stacks of documents while rubbing his head. While Murray holds the title of the Cerberus Commandant, the unique nature of the squad makes him not directly engaged in its combat operations or day-to-day management. He usually just plays the role of cleaning up the mess left behind by his troublesome teammates, which is one of the reasons why Nikola assigned him as the Cerberus Commandant. Despite being accustomed to his everyday duties, the interference of the control cord has caused Murray quite a headache. It even takes its toll on his stomach, which is protesting against the past excessive consumption of coffee. So, Kurna plays a part in this, right? And before Murray is Noctis, who's managed to elude the surveillance of the control core and make his way here. All I can say is it's probably a good bet. The violation in this case isn't that serious, to be honest. For some reason, the control core just won't let it slide. Yeah, I figured it was the ties to Kurna. Because again, it's like, even the command has, breached the rules at times. And only because it was special conditions and certain organizations trying to meddle in our affairs did our investigations / interrogations take longer, or we just got dragged into an even greater mess. But I'm just a commandant. There's not much I can do about the control court's investigation. He speaks in a slightly awkward manner, even though he's already thought through all the solutions. But if things go down that way, he'll undoubtedly find himself in trouble as well. The female construct of the control court is indeed quite rough to deal with. During the Hetero Tower incident, Murray had a chance to encounter with Ishmael, but he senses that there's more to it than meets the eye. That's why I'm not expecting anything from you. The thing I asked you before. Get it done? After a brief moment of hesitation, Murray retrieves a key from his inner pocket of his jacket and pushes it toward Noctis on the desk. I know asking's unnecessary, but you really made the decision? Don't even bother. So that Murray might reject the offer, Noctis swiftly takes hold of the key and secures it in his pocket. Alright, this key is exactly the same as the one held by Vera. The fake data has already been inserted, where you were the one who activated the unlocking program. Oh, that's right. I didn't consider that. Thanks. Let me buy you a drink next time. Thanks, but no thanks. I'm doing this to help myself as well. I'm just saying. Maybe I'll never get a chance to see you again after this. Who knows? Noctis claims the responsibility of unlocking number 21's restraint program. It is highly likely that those Kurno people on the control cord will be rendered powerless to intervene against Vera number 21. But as the person responsible for the event, Noctis will probably not be allowed to stay in Cerberus. Oh, I see. Because it seemed like he was the one responsible. It's not my first time anyway. I don't care where I end up. But those two are different. After all, Cerberus will no longer be Cerberus without any of them. Ray raises his gaze, fixing his eyes upon Noctis, and eventually suppressed the urge to voice his thoughts to him. Oh, by the way, for that everything you need my help with, I've got a lead as well. As Noctis examines the picture that Murray has presented, his expression turns serious, his attention captivated by an exceedingly faint figure captured within the image. Murray initially wondered why Noctis approached him suddenly, expressing a desire for his assistance in fabricating evidence to shoulder the entire blame for this event. Upon reflection, Murray surmised that Noctis may be seeking an opportunity to leave Cerberus and investigate the individual in the picture, who was once his fellow member of the Purifying Force. Some task force members spotted a construct that looks like the one you've been searching for. They saw him during a mission near the Clean Zone, and here's the location. I see. Thanks. Noctis nods to Murray, took away the photo, and the note contained the location. For Murray not so standard military salute before exiting the office. Caught off guard by the salute, Murray shocked, as he never witnessed such a gesture from Noctis or any other member of Cerberus before. Oh well. Am I more like a commandant now? As a thought, Murray taps his temple for a little while, and opens the desk drawer and retrieves the business card he had received recently from it, carefully examining the name printed on it. Okay, one last security measure.
Hello. Is this Murray?
Alright, her again. Interesting. So, Noctis was trying to do his own thing, taking the blame for the incident. Right, because I just want to make sure. That thing with number 21, that also happened after Spiral of Chronos, right? If my memory serves me. Okay, yeah, it was. Because I was going to say, it's like, Murray should have also changed by this point, where him and Lee would have communicated their worries to each other by that point. And actually created a stronger connection with each other. Turning a favor. Wait, next chapter, Ever-Glowing Justice is available? What the fuck you mean? I only did part 2 of this. New Oakley. Noctis continues walking and unfolds the note that Murray gave him earlier, filling a place name he's never heard of. If he's still alive. He designs the script on the note and photo. Robotic left hand, generating a surge of electrical sparks to ignite them, reducing them to ashes. Then I'll send that guy to hell with my own hands one more time. Gives it the drifting ashes in his palm, his fist clenched in determination. Wave of phantom pains are just through him. Stark reminded the severed left arm from that fateful event. Suddenly, something weird on the arm catches his attention. What the hell is this? The concealed spot of his robotic arm appears a cute puppy sticker. The puppy has its mouth open, displaying a silly demeanor. I've been thinking sure that this is number 21's doing. Not my new arm. When did 21 put this on? I'm gonna kill it for real. Noctis clenches his teeth, feeling an impulse urging him to reach out and remove the sticker. However, after a second thought, he slowly withdraws his hand. It's kinda cool after a close look. Guess I'll spare it this time. Claps his hand together, a smile adorning his face as he dusts off the remaining ashes. It's about time to finish what should be done. Inside the officer's control cord, a sense of oppression always hangs in the air. The immense pressure exerts its force, causing individuals burned with their own inner demons to become terrified even before the staff begins presenting their evidence. However, the red-haired construct remains clearly unaffected, sitting with elegant poise in a chair and calmly sipping black coffee. Like, come on. Y'all think you can pressure Vera in an interrogation? It's Vera. Like, seriously. That's, like, impossible.
It's a bit bland. Construct's taste receptors aren't the best to begin with. Make sure to serve up a stronger blend next time, alright?
Yeah, for his provocative words, the construct of the control core remains unfazed, upholding her customary smile without displaying any visible reaction. Oh, okay, so Ishmael really is directly handling the interrogation. Okay, yeah, then I guess it's not going to be that easy for Vera to shake off her interrogator.
It appears that you're well aware that today is the final day of our investigation, so you came here to the control court to cooperate with us. Can't be a drag on the more important work of the control court after all. But first things first, you gotta bring some evidence to the table. We will.
His face tightens into a frown, the smile fading away.
What?
The smile on Ishmael's face stays unchanged as her fingers gently tap against the table.
I mean, there will be. And it won't be long.
Prolonged, the office door is open. The control core construct nods at Ishmael and hands her a memory unit and leaves in silence.
Although you all claim not to remember the details of the battle, we can still find out what happened on that day with this. What are you going to do? This backdoor program allows me to extract the combat data recorded in the restraint. While detailed data is unavailable, we can still find out clearly who disabled the restraint.
Only Kurno has access to number 21's frame information. Control core clearly has received their help.
What? Number 21 finally has a mind stable. Are you gonna drive her crazy again? We are not the ones to decide whether this will be used or not. You are.
Vera gives Ishmael a furious, silent stare.
We still have some time today. Take your time, Vera. Maybe you'll be able to recall something about that battle soon. About you, about number 21. as well as the place you call Heterozone and the new hetero creatures bred there.
Before the auto door opens, a hand pulls it open with brute force.
You are Noctis from Cerberus.
Even Ishmael is slightly perplexed at Noctis' sudden appearance.
Noctis? What are you doing here? Get lost.
Captain, I'm not here for you. Ishmael notices someone familiar behind Noctis.
Leslie, did you bring him here?
Hearing her name, Leslie barely squeezed through the gap between the door and Noctis into the office.
I'm here. Are you mad at me?
Ishmael lets out a slight sigh. She really does so before confronting to speak. Or continuing to speak.
No, but I believe I've told you not to bring unrelated personnel into the control court today. But Noctis isn't unrelated. He said he came to turn himself in. Turn himself in?
That's right. I was the one who disabled number 21's restraint. Everyone becomes speechless for a short moment. Vera finally speaks again with her hand on her forehead.
Enough, Noctis. Do you even know what you're talking about?
Of course I do. The joke's on you, Captain. You didn't even notice that I swapped the key. Laughing out loud, Noctis takes out the magnetic restraint key that he prepared.
Ishmael, this appears to be identical to the key we retrieved from number 21.
But no data could be extracted from the key found at the battle site, as it was severely damaged.
Leslie, check it. Mr. Noctis, I have no idea where you got this, but I must remind you that perjury and forged evidence are both serious offenses. However, if what you said was true, then you must also be punished accordingly.
Noctis glances at Vera out of the corner of his eye and waves his hand nonchalantly. Of course, I'll bear the responsibility.
Alright, can you please describe what you did?
I had contact with Vera's weapon container long ago. I swapped the key at that time. She'd been holding on to the fake key all along. Of course, it was a lie. She has a glance at Ishmael to observe reaction. Finds no usual response. She just sits there quietly, waiting for Noctis to continue. And then I found some technicians. From unofficial sources, of course. They helped me gain access to it.
Why would you do that?
It's very simple. Just think about it. If your teammate's a maniac who could go berserk at any time, you'd want a method to control her, right? I told Noctis how to answer these questions long ago.
If that's the case, why did you disable number 21's restraint at that time?
Because 21 and Vera were holding out the most powerful enemy. If they failed, we would be next. I wanted to at least buy me some time, so I disabled number 21's restraint. Maybe she could even finish Vera off for me. Then nobody would find out about the fake key. Right, that is true, because again, just as the name of the construct suit is, Pharaoh, she was kind of raging out of control for some time. It did take a while for her to recognize Vera, so it's not entirely impossible to think that she could have gone haywire and killed Vera too. That was always the risk, and hence why no one actually wanted to take off her restraints. I can no longer hold back her chuckle.
Really? I never knew you were so smart.
You flatter me, but I've always been. There's no idea what Noctis is doing, but she vaguely sensed that he has a plan. So to stop it immediately, she chooses to sit back and watch.
Then why did it take you so long to tell us the truth?
Because you've been investigating everything and everyone. It's only a matter of time before you get me. So I figured that instead of getting busted, I should just turn myself in. At least my penalty would be less severe.
It could have saved both of us a lot of time if you figured it out earlier. As for the credibility of your testimony, I think we will soon find out.
Officer doors open again as she speaks. Leslie's returned with the magnetic key.
This key seems to be genuine, or at least it is identical to the one we've got. The record inside shows it's only been used by Noctis indeed. I see. Thanks. Noctis, we have investigated this key. It's indeed a genuine one. We only found your usage history inside. But according to the combat operation report submitted by the Grey Raven Commandant, 2 of you were together throughout the entire operation. When did you activate the magnetic key then?
Oh, right, yes, because we were coming as backup. Right, I remember that. Because number 21 only had the power to get them out of that cradle, but she couldn't really get them back to base. But that was because the Commandant and Noctis that we were able to reach them in time. Noctis becomes speechless. He's never thought about that question. Ugh. Shakes her hand, gives Noctis an enough look. Leslie something that's out a short exclamation as if she's remembered something.
Oh, my bad. I was too busy this morning, I forgot to tell you. The Grey River Commandant modified the operation report.
I see. That's how I get involved now. Great.
Don't worry, Grey River Commandant. There are only 2 of us in the room now.
Leslie claps her hands, the room suddenly goes dim. Damn, these control core people have so much power. The screen that was previously playing the combat report loses all the images as if experiencing strong interference.
Now all the eavesdropping surveillance devices, if there was any, should have gone silent.
Sorry, but no. Control core lady specifically picked a time to visit you when all the Grey Raven constructs were out for permissions. The use for her visit was also quite intriguing. I won't change the combat operation report.
Why? I've been begging you for so long.
What's your purpose?
Purpose? It wasn't really my purpose. I was just asked to do it.
Dizzy curls her bangs around her finger, mumbling with her cheeks puffed out. As a member of the control core, even if she only holds a junior position, there's still no need for her to get herself into trouble for no reason. Is that so? May I know who asked you?
I'm not allowed to disclose that. Still, I can't just let go of it. Anyone with common sense can tell that this investigation was all because of Kurino's report. I don't know why they want to target Vera so badly.
Oh, I see. Yes, of course. They want to take Vera back. And this will be their way of doing so. Well, take her back or eliminate her. That would be their best way. Because she ended up becoming a part of the team afterward. Not specifically Cerberus, but belonging to the Force, right? And because of that, she's at least been able to have some different treatment compared to how she was with Kurino. They probably decided to use this opportunity against her. Like as her weak point. Especially considering the circumstances. They probably knew that she would have to risk using it, but they needed to put her in a situation that would allow that. Hence why probably only those 2 were able to be on the mission.
I see.
But again, it's like, for what reason would Kurino have? Again, I guess it goes more into like their ties from back then. Yeah, I have no idea whether she's telling the truth or not.
Honestly, I'm not that keen about my job, but I really hate to be used like a tool.
So do I. That's why I have no plan to help you.
But this suggestion came from Noctis himself. I really hope you can consider it again, Commandant.
As he takes out a statement written by Noctis. While some of the details are obviously fabricated, most of the statement appears to be highly credible as it contains information only someone who had been in that battle would know.
Most people consider Noctis a troublemaker and treat him like a hot potato. I know that feeling too well.
As his smile disappears, hands you the operation report once again, now for rarely seen seriously.
I don't know what Cerberus means to Noctis, but if he's so determined to do so, he must have his reasons. Well, I'll excuse myself here, but I'll leave the report here with you. I think I've done what they asked me to do.
After the operation report Noctis' statement, you lie outside but grab the pen eventually. Ishmael blasted through the Grey Raven's commanded operation report. Or combat operation. Damn, why am I reading so bad today? Part of the content has been modified. Most importantly, it now clearly indicates that Noctis went solo for a certain period of time.
All the evidence has aligned. It seems there's nothing that we can refute. I apologize for wasting your time, Cerberus Captain Vera.
That there's the Noctis with an even brighter smile.
As for you, Noctis, considering the multiple acts of insubordination you've committed during the combat, including unauthorized actions and disabling fellow member number 21's restraint without permission, the final sentence will be sent to you later. But there's one thing I can tell you right now. Unfortunately, you will never return to Cerberus again.
Yeah, I know. This casually waves goodbye to push the door open and leaves without even looking at Vera.
There's a good memory you have, Vera. Not anymore.
To seem Vera off, Leslie asks Ishmael a question nonchalantly.
Are we gonna just close the case like this? I think so. The end result should make those people happy. After all, the evidence is conclusive, isn't it? I really don't understand why they're so obsessed with Vera. But speaking of which, you also seem quite interested in this case. Why?
Ishmael casually glances at the mission report. Mentions the heterozone, a special red tide area generated from infrahetero towers. Also the birthplace of new hetero creatures.
Can I ask you a question, Nesty? Why do you always answer my questions with more questions? But yeah, go ahead.
She giggles, but her eyes still focus on Ishmael's every action.
Do you think humans are animals? Humans evolved from animals, right? Of course they're animals. What about constructs then? Do you think we are humans?
This did not grasp the true meaning of her question, but it still pretends to be different.
I think we are. At least my favorite clothing and makeup haven't changed after becoming a construct. I see. A beautiful answer.
Ishmael gives a smile without looking at Leslie at all. Picks up the mission report and flips through it page by page. Something's changing in this world, isn't it?
Hey you! Stop right there!
Farrah holds her steps and asks Noctis to stop, but better walking forward without a word after leaving the control cord. What's up?
It's about time you tell me why you would go to such lengths to take the blame. Nobody's gonna believe that you could fool the control cord on your own.
Even her fear knocked us speechless for a long time before looking into Farrah's eyes again, not avoiding her questioning gaze. There's something I must do. The truth that I want to find out no matter what. Farrah doesn't seem surprised at all. She leans against the wall, thinking with her eyes closed.
I can more or less guess it, but you won't be free to move around even after leaving Cerberus.
I know, but I'll find a way.
That part you don't have to know, Cap. Cap? I'm not your captain anymore, idiot.
Noctis looks rejected for a fleeting moment, but he quickly waves it off with a cheeky grin before walking away.
That's cool.
I hate owing others.
So I'm just returning a favor to you. To Cerberus.
And no longer responds. She just watches Noctis leaving disdain.
Returning a favor? How naive. Cerberus' name doesn't come that easy.
Dancing with Hands.
Am I really gonna be stuck with you two?
Red-haired man smiles, showing his fangs like a vicious dog.
What'd you two do to land yourselves here?
Because this ain't for look at the grinning red-haired man. And turns to Nicola, pointing at the man.
Dear Commander, did you ask us to come all the way here just to assign this idiot to my squad?
What? How dare you? This is Noctis. He used to be in the Purifying Force, but was reassigned to the Task Force for some reason. We'll form the new Cerberus squad together. Don't judge him by his looks. After all, he is a Purifying Force elite who specializes in close-quarter combat and explosives. He's also qualified for a remote connection, more than enough to be your member. Ah, I see. That's why he was always carrying detonation devices.
What? Member? Someone told me that I would be the captain. He gives a sarcastic smile and tells the Noctis his transfer files to him. It must be Hassan. Unfortunately, his promise doesn't work here. Fuck! That old bastard fooled me! Noctis suddenly knows the white-haired girl next to the obnoxious red-haired woman has disappeared. Next moment, we realize she's already come to his side. Noctis' battle instinct makes him put up a defensive posture, but she seems to have no intention of attacking. All number 21 did was sniff around Noctis a few times. He gives her a sharp stare, she quickly jumps back to Vera. What are you doing? How is it, 21? I smell a fool. You don't need to smell him to know that. Hey, are you trying to get me mad? Number 21 says that Noctis seriously, then blinks and says, but he's still strong. That'll do. I prefer partners who are not that smart. Now, their words sound like a compliment, but Noctis seems quite glad. Huh. I didn't expect a dwarf like you to have such good sense. Just hide behind me when there's a fight, weakling. I don't know what a weakling is, but I'm not a weakling. What do you want? Wanna hit me? Come on, hit here. Oops, can those little arms really reach me? The advantage of his long reach, Noctis tries to poke number 21's forehead. Just when his finger's about to touch her, a dark shadow appears out of nowhere. Buddy. What is this thing? Number 21's Cobot, who has been staying by his side all the time, tried to cleanse out of Noctis' face like a custom-made mask, completely blocking his vision, which also prevents him from noticing a full-strength kick aimed at his stomach. Die, loser! Some powerful impact sends Noctis into the storage room of Nicola's office like an empty can, spinning and flying. Laboratory also rushes inside and engages in a fight with Noctis. Furious shouts and fighting noises begin to echo in the office as usually too quiet. I want to take back my initial comment. Fighting that fight, Vera continues to lean against Nicola's desk, reading through Noctis' document as if nothing has happened. Told you he'd be a great candidate. I'm not talking about Noctis. It's you. I'm impressed that you had the guts to choose us as your direct subordinates. You seem to be a lot braver than those bureaucrats. Just do some regular task force missions for now. Adapt and adjust yourselves as fast as you can. Soon you'll have a real mission to do. I take some list from Nicola and carefully browse it through it with a smile. He picks the first combat mission for service in no time. But there's another problem to be solved right now. Celica, it's me. Can you ask the engineering force for someone who's not on a mission? Hey newbie, go clear the place and set up the trap. Hope that isn't too hard for you. You can't do it, you'll clean the toilet. Huh, these enemies aren't even a starter for me. Too bad I won't get to see you cleaning toilets with an apron. Number 21, hold your situation. Number 21 here, guiding the large corrupted toward Captain the dumb newcomer. Arriving in 15 minutes. Set up your mind, newbie. But I still think the pieces when it comes. No need for all that hassle. I can smash it with my fist. Buddy and the big chunk are on the way.
笑えるぜ。これくらいで俺を殺せると思ってんの？来い。
You're pretty good as a newbie, but puppy should listen to their master. Stop calling me a bloody newbie. The name's Noctis. Want me to call you Captain, you have to beat me first. Oh boy.
お前なんかよりサンドバッグの方が丈夫だぜ。ぶっ飛ばしてやる。始めるぜ。絶望へのカウントダウン。
Where am I? The slowly opens his eyes. He's really confused by this guy that seems extremely close and decides to just space out. Captain, he's awake. Like to see a voice over his stomach. Feels even more confused, but suddenly remembers why he ended up lying here. You're quite tough. Number 21's full strength only knocked you out for 3 minutes. Well, if you were on the battlefield, 3 minutes should be more than enough to kill you or turn you into corrupted. Fuck! Get off me! Noctis' hand and feet are tightly tied together, so he can only wriggle around, trying to shake off the construct standing on his back. I'm standing on a caterpillar. Despite Noctis' desperate struggles, number 21 just spreads her arms out and maintains perfect balance. I ain't no caterpillar, at least a centipede. Giving you a finger, Noctis curls his legs to make a kip up move in Kalong martial arts using his core strength. He's up back to his feet. Finally thrown off, and 21 does a somersault in the air and lands firmly on the ground. Noctis exerts all his strength to break the steel rope that ties up his arms. Quickly sets up fighting stance against Rare and 21, albeit his still tied up feet make him look more funny than fierce. Gee, the rope is used by the support force to tie up large cargo. Can he even break that? Shit, that thing will never hold me back. It was supposed to be a one-on-one. I'll never lose to you, you didn't cheat. Still looking for excuses. Noctis is such a sore loser. Shut up! Smiling, Vera walks to number 21 and pats her on the head. As a member of mine, number 21 is considered my weapon. Just like this katana, I was just using an available weapon against you. I think that makes perfect sense. Noctis opens his mouth but cannot find a word. Just feels something's not quite right. Noctis is a fool indeed. Besides, nobody would fight with dignity in a real battle. How did you even survive until now in the Purifying Force? Purifying Force members often have to face the most desperate vicious enemies in their missions. I know what you mean. Like the mindless corrupted who will only charge directly at their targets, the Purifying Force would do anything to survive, no matter how despicable. The victory was mine, but you're too much of a loser to take it. You're always welcome to challenge me again. With his hands on his hips, Noctis lets out a sigh and punches the steel rope binding his feet loose. 21 and their combat immediately move to Vera. Whatever. I'll listen to you. But don't get me wrong, I didn't lose to you. It's just that Noctis looks at his robotic arm. Damage marks on it are still clearly visible. Unlike someone I made the promise, and I'll stick to it no matter what. He returns the katana to his sheath, smiles and gestures number 21 so that she can relax. Well, as the captain of service, I'd like to give you a piece of advice. You want to go back to the Purifying Force to investigate the murder of its ex-captain, right? How'd you know? Because I have a brain and eyes. And I also know how to use my weapons. You seem like the type easily influenced by anger. It's your weakness. But it can also become your strength. While you're in Cerberus, find out the real target that you should unleash your anger on. That way, maybe you'll be one step closer to the truth you want. Vera's about to leave, she passes on 21's back, signaling her to follow. Left alone, Noctis still pondering Vera's words. Cerberus. evil hunting hounds to puppy watchdogs, huh? Noctis looks at the Cerberus emblem on his new coating. It's a symbol of a hellhound. Despite its 3 ferocious heads, to most people's surprise, it's a guardian. What are you still doing there? Hurry! You can drive, right? You need to drive to the shuttle pad. And a voice calling him from afar, Noctis sneezes and points at his nose. Are you serious? There's no such thing as cannot in my dictionary. I'm a fantastic driver. Yeah, sure, buddy. Alright, how far am I right now? 16%. And it's not too bad, I guess. Defector. Even the latest shuttle of Babylonia will still inevitably experience intense vibration when struck by sudden turbulence. Does this guy even know how to fly a shuttle? My brain is getting all screwed up. I'll make a better pilot. Able to endure any longer, Noctis finally explodes, complaining loudly. You wish. You run away, we'll have one more defector to hunt. Don't increase our workload. Verifying Force member's comments stirs up more chuckles inside the cabin. Want me to beat you up, don't ya? Just as Noctis is about to walk up and punch him in the face, another Purifying Force member nearby gently intervenes. Alright, that's enough. Don't forget the Graver Commandant is also here. Oh, this guy. Yeah, he is part of the Purifying Force. Don't worry about me. I'm just hitching a ride. Me and Liv are both in Constellia, helping the engineering force to repair the damage from previous battles. Meanwhile, Graver will also be representing Babylonia to meet the local mechanoids, as well as the first batch of residents relocating there, on your way to merge with them. You just happen to be on the same shuttle together. As an outsider, you don't really have anything to say about the Purifying Force's internal affairs. We're comrades, after all. Be nice to each other if you can. I was just joking. Does he have to? Frustrated, Noctis also sits down with his arms crossed. After Control Corps made their final decision, Noctis was forced to leave Cerberus unsurprisingly. He's once again a member of the Purifying Force that he served before. The Pandy seemed somewhat lackluster for the level of investigation. Perhaps Noctis was never the target of the Control Corps to begin with. Or someone helped them behind the back. Probably that. Didn't expect you to know these guys so well. Right, the last time Noctis served in the Purifying Force, he hardly knows any of the members now. At least none in the shuttle. I only met them once. You were there too. That's because you once fought together when Bianca was trapped in Copperfield Aquarium. The Purifying Force members are a lot nicer to you than Noctis. Oh, right, yeah, because that did already happen too. Right. Yeah, because that was before the whole, Hetero Tower. How modest of you. I wasn't at Copperfield Aquarium. But from what I heard, if not for you, all the Purifying Force there would never have survived. Oh yeah, he wasn't there. I completely forgot about that. Also, that other guy as well. The one who definitely seems like a more, dangerous opponent. I'm so lucky to have met you today. The name's Diamond. The Purifying Force member who calls himself Diamond extends his hand toward you. Compared to other Purifying Force members who are usually silently reticent, he seems a lot easier to deal with. When the Diamond pulls his hand back, he reaches out to Noctis again. What? Just like this commandant said, since we're comrades for now, shouldn't we try to get along with each other? Noctis glances at him and sneers, showing no intention of shaking his hand back. Diamond, huh? I have no interest in getting along with you. We just happen to be on the same mission. Knowing each other's names is more than enough. He's right, Diamond. We don't need to get along with him. Even though he's now assigned to the Purifying Force, we're essentially watching him. Oh yeah, this guy is Sarius. Another member spoke up. Remember him as you once fought alongside each other in the Battle of Copperfield Aquarium. Sarius casts a sharp gaze toward Noctis, who stares back in return without holding back. Can we notice anything unusual about you? We'll consider you a top-level threat and finish you off immediately. Should I feel honored then? I learned about your past in the Purifying Force from Captain Bianca. Rest assured, I'll always be keeping an eye on you.
No idea what happened between Noctis and the Purifying Force, but he clearly stopped smiling after hearing those words. Whatever. What are we doing today anyway?
Did you not listen to Captain's mission briefing before we headed out?
Like I care. We're just going after a Kurno test subject who escaped from that something city, right?
Should I stay away from this?
No need, Grey Raven Commandant. In fact, we could probably use some advice from you since you're also aware of what happened. Oh, from Constellia, I guess. This always turns on the projection function on this terminal and shows the location of everyone. Sorry, just need some water.
After the target disappeared in Constellia, there have been sightings in the nearby conservation area. We've received no casualty reports so far. In fact, according to the eyewitnesses, they seem to have reached help from our target.
Sounds like a decent one then.
Maybe, but we won't lower her threat level just because of some nice things she did.
Right, yeah, because in this world with the punishing, you can't trust anybody. It is right, putting subjective factors aside, there's still something worth noting. Why would she head toward populated places? If she wants to run from the Purifying Force, she should stay away from the conservation area to avoid leaving traces. She's more than capable of protecting herself against the wandering corrupted in the wilderness. Now that you mention it, it does feel weird. Hey, you really are smart.
That's a blind spot we didn't notice, Commandant. Can you elaborate? I think she has a reason to get in contact with those conservation area refugees.
The conservation area is home to refugees from all nearby areas, as well as surface defense soldiers. Both groups are highly transient. She might be investigating something. That's just my thought. Yeah, because if it's people from many different areas, maybe that person's looking for something. But one person can't find something across an entire desolated world. So maybe hearing from other people, they might have seen something before they were rescued or after they were rescued. Could be one of those things. Or maybe even rumors that they heard about something that they probably didn't find in another location. Some of those people know the surface even better than Babylonia's intelligence department. Now that girl's left Babylonia. If she wants to investigate something, the conservation area is her only option.
I see. Once we arrive at the destination, we'll do what we can to investigate the local residents.
So we're not here for a fight? It's none of my business then.
It's not up to you to decide. You can only obey the orders given to you.
Like this makes a sign of disdain. Wait, these coordinates. Is there a town named New Oakley about 300 kilometers to the east? Sorry, says Candy sense Noctis has an unusual interest in the town.
What are you up to?
Just trying to understand the mission target, duh. Isn't that what you guys told me to? Fine, I'm out. Just call me when we arrive. Noctis crosses his legs scornfully, but he keeps staring at the coordinates out of the corner of his eye. Noctis pretends to close his eyes and zone out, but is clearly thinking about something. This action itself is a very rare sight. I feel a little worried.
You're hitching a Purifying Force shuttle to the surface in a few days, right?
How do you know?
Don't answer my question with another one. Only I get to do that. Yes or no?
Yeah, but just out of a convenient coincidence. The Purifying Force hardly moves together with other forces as their mission locations are usually classified. Still, this mission just happened to be relatively public, so it didn't matter much.
Noctis is also in the Purifying Force now. You ever see him doing anything abnormal?
Abnormal?
Anything that seems off to you. Trying to stop him from doing anything dangerous if possible.
Sure, I will. Parents still wearing the same hard, distant look, but somehow you feel she is a little relieved. You worried about him?
Worried? Not really. Guess I just don't want my handy weapon to break.
His gaze becomes sharp again.
what she's about to say next is all serious. You cannot stop that fool. Just stay away from him. Did I make myself clear? I mean, sometimes you seem even more oblivious to danger than number 21 in me.
Fair. Take a glance at the map. Shadow's not far away from the conservation area. Other Purifying Force members are quietly discussing their plans after reaching the destination. Noctis, on the other hand, still keeps his eye closed and pretends to be dozing off. Seems not interested in the discussion at all. Everything seems okay, until Noctis' eyes become wide open in confusion. Hey, do you smell something? Stop it! I've had enough of your nonsense. Stop getting on my nerves. Noctis seems to completely ignore those words. He just keeps sniffing around in the cabin. Noctis? Everything alright? The smell! Hey, can't you feel it? This familiar smell. Get down! Every time I board a fucking ship, it has to get shot down. Really, at this point, the commander just shouldn't go flying anymore. At this point, we need like a teleportation device to send us from the Babylonia base to Earth. I know it's risky, but it's like, dude, how many times I get shot out of the air? Like, come on. We're overwhelmed by a loud bang that sweeps through the entire cabin. What? Great. Stuck in another desert again. Opening your eyes abruptly, you find yourself lying in a makeshift bed made from shuttle cushions and rags. With one knee on the ground, Asarius is gazing at you. What just happened? Spine, all good. No visible wounds on the body. Asarius reaches out to you and helps you slowly get up on your feet. I'm good. What happened? An explosion took place in the shuttle. The cause is still unknown. And the crash landed wherever was left. Fortunately, almost no one got injured. Almost. Noctis had gone missing. At this moment, the blue-eyed Purifying Force member walks to Asarius and shakes his hand. There are no signs of external attacks on the shuttle's outer surface, which means the explosion originated from inside. Oh, I see. That's why he could smell it. Because I was going to say, it's like, there's no way it could be a missile. Even if I get shot out in the air, it's like, if it was from outside, we would have had our radars or something sensed it, right? Especially since the shuttle has to be used for evacuations. They need to know when a threat is going to hit them. So yeah, it wouldn't make sense that it happened from the inside. But it's like, why would Noctis shout about that if he was the one who made it? It would have been better for him to keep his mouth shut, because no one else even knew about it. Which means someone else who came here has hidden intention. We investigated the residue at the site of the explosion, matched the explosives and Noctis' personal equipment that he declared earlier on. He also reported that he was the only one who knew the formula. Ah, great. What he meant was fairly obvious. Noctis was the culprit behind the explosion. Why would he do that, though? We still have no clue. Recall Vera's warning. Perhaps Noctis really had his reason to leave Babylonia even at the cost of defecting. But regardless of whether you want to help or stop him, you gotta find him first. Do we have contact with Babylonia? We tried. The shuttle's communicator was damaged, and our personal devices suffered from strong interference. I'm afraid we won't be able to contact Babylonia for a while. We're still quite far away from the destination. Along the way, there's also an area where positioning systems don't really work. Walking there is probably not going to be practical. There's still a light transport vehicle in the shuttle. Can only carry one consort though. Maybe one more human and you can squeeze a little. We can't let Grey Raven Commander be stuck here with us. At least we need to find a comm station that can reach Babylonia. Diamond seems to recall something. He opens his paper notebook. I was here not long ago. If I recall correctly, there's a small town about 50 kilometers from here. We should be able to find some long-distance comms device there. Still remember the way there? Yeah, I can find it even without navigation. I see. Given it's not that far from here, you can take Grey Raven Commander with you and seek help. The
rest of us will stay here. No problem. What if we meet knock this halfway? You can attack without warning. Understood. I'll get us ready. Diamond turns away. There seems to be a meaningful grin on his face. Don't know if this is just your delusion. Town of Outlaws. As a light transport vehicle speeds through the wilderness, it sends dust into the air, greatly obscuring the view. Proud sense of direction as a commandant is completely useless at this moment. It doesn't take long for you to become completely lost. Fortunately, your perception of time is not dull to the point of not noticing anything unusual. It's already getting close to dusk. Based on your speed, you should have reached your destination 30 minutes ago. How far away are we from the destination, Diamond? Diamond just responds with a smile. Seems indifferent. Eh, boy. Don't tell me he's gonna try to kill me. Don't worry, we'll probably be there soon. As if to reinforce his words, a view that you've never seen in Babylonia begins to limit the end of your vision. Golden wheat field is enveloped in the glow of the setting sun, in the wind while bringing the muggy atmosphere exclusive to the dusk. Is this wheat field still attended? Might be a common scene back in the Golden Age, but it's hard to imagine such large farmland in a place like this nowadays, when the earth is swarmed with the punishing virus. Correct. Once we cross this wheat field, we'll see our destination. Corrupted cannot easily break through the canyons, so the town is able to harbor such a large stretch of farmland. Just like Diamond said, the edge of the wheat field is a large cliff. It only connects to the outside world through a simple suspension bridge. You gotta test the bridge. It's reasonably stable, but its appearance appears to be somewhat worrying. I don't think our vehicle could go through the bridge, Commandant. Should we just walk across? Sure. After parking the transport vehicle on the side, the two of you begin to walk slowly forward along the bridge. Commandant, I heard you were once a chief graduate at FOS College. Is that right? Yeah, I was lucky. True. Luck is very important. People like me ended up becoming constructs because we weren't that lucky. Diamond turns around on the bridge and looks at you with a meaningful smile. You're not volunteer to become a construct? Construct? Nobody would want to turn themselves into that sort of thing if they could still live like a person. I've heard about another student who graduated from FOS as a chief just like you, but later turned into a construct. How stupid. Seems to have hurt something like Crow and decides to belittle him without understanding the reason behind. I don't think Chrome's decision deserves such groundless criticism. Well, sorry, but I just can't understand. It could have become a wielder of weapons, but chose to become a weapon for others to control instead. Time speaks, he's right at the end point of the bridge. He reaches out to you. You've arrived, Commander. Thanks. As well exercised as you are, it still takes quite some effort to maintain the balance on a swinging suspension bridge. You have to grab Diamond's hand to leave the bridge. It's hard to imagine that the two sides of the cliff are only connected by such a narrow bridge. Diamond stands up and gazes at the other side of the bridge. You clearly see the transport vehicle parked over there. Ever since the outbreak of punishing, the fragile balance between humans and constructs is probably on the verge of the collapse, just like this old bridge. Humans without adaptability need constructs as weapons, but constructs on the other hand don't really need humans that much. Don't you find it unreasonable that constructs who are supposed to have superior powers don't have to listen to frail humans? Then it smiles and takes out an inconspicuous black device. It's about time to break this false balance. Let's start with the disappearance of our forged hero, Grey Raven Commandant. Oh god. Time pressing the button on the remote, triggering a violent explosion. The transport vehicle on the other end of the bridge. The bridge nearby is also engulfed in flames. What are you doing, Diamond? I wouldn't ask such a stupid question if I were you. Try to connect to Sari's signal in secret, but there's no response. Forget about asking for help. We're outside the signal range via terminal short-range communication. The Purifying Force will never hear you. Just surrender, will ya?
No wonder he's so confident. Even if the Purifying Force members realize something's wrong, they'll never find this place. If they do, they won't be able to come over after the bridge is gone. Diamond waves his hand. Pure constructs emerge from the wheat field. No clear signs of identity on their outfits. Easy to tell that they all came from Babylonia. Defectors. Why are you colluding with them?
Right. The Purifying Force is meant to exterminate all the defectors. That's the justice of you humans. You just stand on a high moral ground making us kill each other. Who cares about whether a weapon is soaked in blood or not?
If you had doubts about the mission, I'm sure Bianca would.
Shut up! She's a kind heart that shouldn't belong to the Purifying Force's captain. But that's what makes her vulnerable, so you can use her. That's why you assigned her to the position in the first place.
Great. Well, I was kind of wondering what we did with the whole defector situation again, so glad to see that's becoming a thing now instead of just another current thing. Two renegade constructs slowly walk to you, drawing their katanas. Witnessed this scene numerous times, only that this time the blades are targeting yourself.
Don't get any closer.
Pull out the pistol and fire a warning shot, but ignore and even begin to sprint toward you. It's not a choice.
Cannot open fire. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Generalissimo wanted to spare your life. But I can't guarantee that they'll still hold back if you possess too much.
Generalissimo? No time to wonder who this Generalissimo is, as the constructs are already within the range of your pistol. Shots are fired, but they only hit the leg armor of one of the constructs. Renegade construct sneezes and tries to walk again, only to find his legs unable to move. Crap! The commander was aiming at our dustproof device! Besides, these old model construct frames never thought about the possibility of finding in different surface environments. Their leg armor is meant to be dustproof, but just barely. However, these renegade constructs have obviously been on the ground for a prolonged period of time without maintenance, which might sand and dust have accumulated in dustproof devices. Once they are compromised, the sand dust will enter their joints, significantly impacting the sense of offense. Ah, smart. Yeah, because there's always a weak point. It ain't that simple. Just because you're a construct doesn't mean you're immortal. Fuck. How'd the commander know? Sorry, but they taught this at college. Right, for in the case of constructs ended up becoming corrupted, right? Fire again. Cause the other construct collapsed to the ground. Useless. Can't even get a human. Hey, you, keep going. We'll be out of ammo soon. Once again, but nobody responds. What are you doing? I said go! Are you deaf? You mean these guys? He turns around only to find two of his subordinates being held up in a strange position. Let's collide with each other, making him up with the thigh. Not this! Jumping unconscious constructs, the red-haired construct shows a grin. Why are you here? I called them. Sorry, this was beyond the reach of the short-range communication, so we couldn't get to that. We found someone else's signal by accident. You didn't know whether the defected Noctis would still respond to the distress signal. You had to take the chance. So you were the one calling for help. Bloody idiot. Why didn't you destroy the terminal after deserting? Oops, sorry. I actually forgot. Besides, I wasn't deserting. Call it a tactical retreat. Support just diver with a malevolent smile. But I didn't expect to find a culprit trying to set me up. What a coincidence, don't you think? Ah, I see. The fact that it was too simple for us to move forward like that. The fact that only Noctis could have smelled the formula because only he would have made it, right? But you're not supposed to know the formula of my explosives. Unless... Noctis rarely looks so serious. His eyes lock on Diamond with a death stick. Who's behind you? Tell me now! Noctis continues to push forward. Corner, Diamond looks at you, only to see your gun pointing at him. Oh, I see, so it's a poison not made by in his time the Purifying Force. Or at least more so in the time when he was probably doing something special. Surrender now. Diamond's figure becomes blurred in the next split second. You fire at him, but the bullet just goes through him and hits the ground behind.
Holographic image. Shit, he got away. Considering you're standing next to a cliff, he could only have escaped to the town. But yeah, that also does kind of explain that it would have had to be him, right? Because even if it was Noctis's formula, why would he have talked about the scent, something that only he would know, to others? And that's probably why, because it's almost untraceable to a regular person. Like maybe he does something to the atmosphere that only he would know the sensation of when working with that formula, or something like that. And again, the fact that after examining it, you could only just assume that it was his explosive. And true, getting the information on how to make it to detect that it is actually his would be surprising, because that would be something that only someone of potentially Cerberus or the Control Court should know. I wonder why Noctis is here and what exactly he's up to. Have to ask him later. Let's go, Noctis. Yep. But across the wheat field, you soon see a sizable town. Buildings inside are mostly made of wood and look quite old-fashioned. They're drastically different from the buildings in the conservation areas, which are either built with Babylonia's help or have existed since the Golden Age. Hey, you noticed? The people here are all kind of strange. I don't think we get to say that, though. Like Noctis said, although the local residents seem to be minding their own business, they're all glancing your direction. Not just humans. Some of them look like constructs too. Where do they come from now? Thus, Noctis has no intention of responding to you, as his attention is quickly diverted by the locals on the roadside. Look, there's even a super weird mechanoid. Do they all live here? This bats on a mechanoid cleaning up dried wheat straws and bursting into laughter. Yo, Noctis. Stop calling me. What's up? Noctis turned around and realized he's been surrounded by many locals. Empty hands are now wielding all sorts of weapons. Even the mechanoid has a clinking machete in its hand. Are we being surrounded? I can't think of another possibility. Not surprised at all, Noctis raised his combat stance. His eyes rapidly scanning over the armed residents. So, which one should I take on first? The masked big dude with a chainsaw? No, don't fight. What? But they already brought out weapons. Do you think they came just to chat with us? Just leave this to me, Noctis. Damn, now I actually gotta be your Vera. This moment the crowd slowly moves aside to make way for someone walking toward you. Steady footsteps carry indescribable prestige. When the footsteps stop, the surrounding residents begin to gather around this man. Oh damn, we're getting that real Western music. One resident with an outlandish hairstyle knees on one knee and lights up the cigar and says, "Ah, great. The Mafia. I know too much about the Mafia and shit from Yakuza games. Who are you? Who the fuck are you then, acting pretentious? The fuck you just said? I'm gonna kill you. I don't even want to know what all those profanities are under. Bear remains silent, and the people around him continue to buzz as the smoke from his cigar dissipates into the air. He just to stop Noctis, who almost charged forward and slowly walked to the man. We are Babylonia Task Force members. We came here to investigate a defector named Diamond. Name? What? Your names. But Noctis exchanged a look and nod at each other. I'm Noctis. This is Xanthos. What about you? You can call me Max, or Mayor, like everyone else. I wanted to say welcome to New Oakley, but unfortunately, he deeply inhales from his cigar and blows the smoke out of your face. You are not welcome here.
Of course not. When is the Great Raven Command ever welcome? This is crazy. Dr. leans against a window, staring at the street below. It's already late in the night, but there's still quite a few people wandering. At least 5 are watching us. The entire town would know if we ever go out. Sign Noctis sits back on the inn bed and lies down boredom. How are we gonna catch that bastard like this? Max arranged, or forced, you to stay in the inn he picked. Like he said, everything from Babylonia was not welcome in this town. I'll be able to find Diamond by running through each and every house. The mayor did mention that the town would be temporarily closed. Heard that the town will be closed for the annual Harvest Festival. No unauthorized personnel can leave or enter the town easily, so there is a high chance that Diamond is still inside the town. I just don't know how much we can trust that old man. By the way, Noctis, there's something to ask you. Ask whatever you want. It's up to me whether I want to answer them or not. Alright, first of all, you didn't blow up the show, did you? Will you believe me if I say no? Season lasts, but soon becomes serious again. I'm the only one in this world who can mix that kind of explosives. Or I'm supposed to be the only one. Supposed to be? Yeah. Other than me, only 2 people are supposed to know this formula, but they both died right in front of me. Like, very dead. Noctis looks at his own reflection in the window. Makes that battle was so visible. But I'm not so sure anymore. Damn it! Why would Diamond set you up then? How am I supposed to know? What was he even thinking? Was this General Lisi what we mentioned? Some great guy. Maybe? I don't know shit. And I'm just getting a little annoyed. Sling bounces up for the bed. Wait a minute. Why am I the only one answering your questions? It's not fair. I have something to ask you too. Really? Alright. I had no idea why he's suddenly obsessed about being fair. First one. Why'd you show up with that guy at that place? As expected, Noctis was unaware of Diamond's intention. I explained to him again what Diamond did. He must be that guy's target all along. He just wanted to pin it on me. I'm gonna skin him alive and make him regret installing a pain sensor. Okay, your turn now. Ask me. Tell me about New Oakley. You mentioned this name in the shuttle too. You sure are a sharp one. Why did you know this place before we even came here? It's related to the 2 dead people I mentioned earlier. One of them was Nigel. I knew him well back in the Purifying Force. He was the last one I killed as a Purifying Force member. Nigel. Never heard that name. None of the Purifying Force members ever talked about him either. To put it simply, someone saw him in a small town on the surface. The name of that town just happened to be New Oakley. His reaction to this Nigel guy definitely means more than someone he knew well to him. Diamond could be related to this guy you're after. Exactly! That's what I thought too. There's no way he would know my formula. Or no other way he would. Noctis starts to get excited as the truth gets gradually unraveled. Alright, my turn. Why would Diamond go through all that effort just to take you to this place? Good question. If he simply drove the vehicle away from the Purifying Force's crash landing site, he would have caught you off guard and probably had a better chance. Still, he insisted on coming to this town first and blew up the bridge. His line eventually led to his failure. I mean, it definitely seemed like he wanted me alive, right? Because if he wanted me dead, he could have already had those constructs try to eliminate me. Or he could have tried to push me off the bridge, considering it wasn't the most stable bridge. And again, it's like he could have been like, he'll check out the bridge first and I just stay in the car, where it's safe, and then try to explode the car, since he already had a detonation device. Perhaps he didn't specifically arrange for an ambush here, or his men were always stationed around this town. There could be other defectors like Diamond living in this town. Are you saying that this town's full of their people? Probably not. Right,
We probably wouldn't have survived till now if that was the case. Yeah, because then that would mean the boss guy Max would also be a part of it. And again, he would have just done the same thing anyway. But the fact that they're letting us have this room and everything, it's definitely a lot smoother of a lockup compared to what Diamond was supposedly trying to do. Sorry, not used to doing this many different voices after a while, so... Need more water. The mayor doesn't like us, but at least he hasn't harmed us. So we're back to the same question. How are we gonna find him? It's not going anywhere. It's my turn to ask now. Okay, bring it on. Why'd you run away? I just didn't see this coming. Looks a little shocked. Why? I told you I came in to check if Nigel was still alive. Well, why didn't you talk to others first? Talk? Nah, it's my own business. I don't need to get them involved. In fact, both the Purifying Force and I are already involved. So are Vera number 21. Come on, what's that have to do with them? They are worried about you. Vera, worried about me? You must be hallucinating. Marcus almost fails to hold back his laughter, but he just tries to keep his mouth shut. What a bloody mess. I chose to investigate alone because I didn't want to bother them. Let's find a way to go back to the Purifying Force tomorrow and explain to them. Hell no! I'm never going back! And neither can you! Marcus is very adamant about this. Still, you can tell that he's no longer as impulsive as he was at the beginning. You're just too naive. Some of those Purifying Force members could very well be related to the defectors. I just don't want to suspect our comrades without grounds. I know, neither do I. Still, you can't completely trust someone even if they're your closest family and friends. I mean, he's not wrong after everything I've been through in this game. Anyway, I'll go to town tomorrow and continue investigating. They probably won't like us doing so, but there's no other way. But I'll keep an eye on you. Scruntled Noctis lies down on the bed and closes his eyes. Whatever you like. Get too much isn't gonna help. What you need to do most right now is to rest and keep a clear mind. Right then. Compared to the tranquil lounge in Babylonia, the inn, the small town feels a lot noisier. The howling wind, the chirping of unknown insects, and the loud off-key singing of drunk people. Despite all this, you feel a strange sense of peace embraced by such a chaotic mix of sounds. The scent of dried wheat straws filling the beds and pillows also makes you feel incredibly comfortable. I guess the fact that it feels homey, right? Not just like a encapsulated space or just a locked up prison. It feels like just another home you'd find somewhere else. Hey, you asleep yet? Almost. I'll ask you one last question then. Are you worried that I may be on the defector side? Why don't you trust everything I said? I don't know either. Out of instinct maybe? Instinct? Never thought I'd hear that word from you. Instincts are crucial, you know. Perhaps compared to the experiences gained from all the past adventures, you should sometimes trust your instincts more when making a decision. You really are a strange one. Don't say I didn't warn you, but you might also be considered a defector you keep messing around with me. Whether you're innocent or not, that's my own decision to make. It probably doesn't matter anymore, though. 'Cause nobody cares about what happened back there right now. Except me. You really are innocent. Look up at the night sky and slowly close your eyes as fatigue begins to creep in. Still, you can return to service with your head held high. Felt that sense of relaxation, you gradually fall asleep. Why care about me so much? This thing has nothing to do with you. Lying down, Noctis crossed his arms and let out a sigh. His eyes were a faint smile. Turn to Cerberus. Alright, what's my next goal after catching this diamond guy? I'm gonna shock Vera and 21. Watanabe and the officers of other departments rarely come together, but today they gather in Forsaken HQ. The tactical map in front of them is filled with all types of symbols. But of all, the most eye-catching one is the circle centered around the Inverhedra Tower, the clean zone. Are you sure about that? Yes. Area 2 was suddenly attacked by some hetero creatures with rather strange behavior. Although they seem less aggressive than the known types, they're surprisingly coordinated, moving in groups. Existing defenses can hardly stop them. It seems the punishing creatures are also constantly changing. It could also be linked to the emergence of that tower. Watanabe, I know you're still negotiating with Babylonia, but I'm afraid I can't hold everyone back. Some people sort of entered the clean zone. I'm sorry. That's not your fault. Watanabe gazes at the chart representing the spread of hetero creatures with a complicated look on his face, as he realizes more areas may be affected in the future. But Babylonia's been claiming they need to inspect more areas within the clean zone before letting people in to avoid more chaos. But those are there just delaying us on purpose. The military officers' words seem to resonate with many attendees, and they begin to express their dissatisfaction with Babylonia to varying degrees. I mean, it's not wrong to have that assumption because, yeah, I mean, like when you compare it to what they did with the Acadia evacuation, it could be the same, like they're trying to select only the people that they want to go to the clean zone. But at the same time, it's like, it is also kind of true that it's like, they can't guarantee the clean zone is actually good because it's like all of a sudden this miracle area that can't get hit by the punishing appeared. And we don't know what the origin is or why that's the case. But it's like, again, you can kind of understand it from both sides after seeing the context of this story for so long. I reached an agreement with Babylonia. They promised an appropriate location of civilians. There's no need to worry about that aspect. Watanabe pressed through the attendees, with a faint but determined smile. I know very well that there's always been some tension between the Forsaken and Babylonia, due to historical reasons. But recently, Babylonia proved their attitude through a series of actions. I believe you've all witnessed them. During this time, many Forsaken members have fought alongside Babylonian forces and helped each other out on various occasions. Pressure on Babylonia has been significantly enhanced. So I ask you all to show a little more patience. Regarding the hetero creatures, I'll also come up with a solution ASAP. That's all for today. Dismissed. Watanabe examines the reports he received from various Forsaken camps with a grave look. According to them, there are already quite a number of conflicts between the Forsaken members of the Clean Zone's defense forces. He has managed to keep the negative emotions under control this time, but no one can predict when they'll fully explode. What do you think about this, Instructor? Ah, yeah. Watanabe turns to a shadowed corner, asking a man who had been listening in to the entire conversation. He sees a veteran is about the age of Watanabe's father. Watanabe invited him to help with new Forsaken recruit training not long ago. I advise you not to fully trust Babylonia's promises. When there are conflicts of interest, your friends get turned to your worst enemies, no matter how much you used to trust each other. Besides, there are still different voices in Babylonia who want to get rid of the Forsaken altogether. You are right. We should always negotiate with great caution. But personally, I still want to believe that Babylonia is capable of handling all this. But before reaching a final agreement with Babylonia, we need to stop the expansion of those hetero creatures first. In that case, I would suggest you establish a line of defense near the area where the hetero creatures came from. Babylonia seems to call it the Hetero Zone. But we don't have enough military strength right now. Should I take some soldiers with me and head to the Hetero Zone first, so we can eliminate some of the hetero creatures. Watanabe contemplates the suggestion for quite some time. The Forsaken have many new members recently, but they still need more training in both discipline and combat abilities. We can't rush it. And since we're trying to regain the Forsaken's confidence as a whole, I think I should lead this operation to better boost the morale of our forces. I'm glad to see you considering things more thoroughly now, Watanabe. Just do as you wish then. Alright. Time is of the essence. I'll go with them to hold off the hetero creatures tomorrow. The man nods and walks out of the shadows. That's Watanabe on his shoulder. We'll take care of things here. The Forsaken will be waiting for your triumphant return. Oh, wait. I want to check, like, in the timeline, like, where this would be. Just to make sure. Oh, yeah, because, yes, this would still technically be before, the whole thing with him and Watanabe and the old man. Yeah, because then that was an Amber Ford, so it's not too far away from that subject. Oh, could that have been when he was gone? And then he was deemed either missing or dead? Right, okay, so that's probably what that is. Okay, I'm 1/4 of the way done. Okay. Cool. But yeah, it's like, that's the thing with the old man. It's like, it's not like he was using Watanabe the whole time or completely a villain, but again, it's like, after how many times he's seen, like, Babylonia fail him and all the other people who also gave their lives for the causes of humanity to thrive for the future, it's like he couldn't necessarily always trust them. It's like, it is reasonable to think that after seeing everything that Babylonia had done and current up behind the scenes. I give up. This thing ain't working at all. Buster knocked the store's terminal into the bed and paces back and forth in front of the window. Seems we just have no means to contact Babylonia. Two of you wasted the whole morning trying to modify the terminal in order to contact Babylonia. Still, it looks like you have overestimated your abilities. Compared to professionals like Lee, two amateurs like you could hardly carry out such modifications. There's no other option. We'll just have to go out there to investigate. What? Didn't that old man tell us not to do it? We can't just can't do so in the name of Babylonia. Besides, you probably would just do it anyway. Why you be the voice of reason? You can still get Diamond through covert investigation. Mayor Max will not have much to say. Are you sure it'll work? But we can't really get anything done in this room. Better get moving then. Already bored to death. Let's split up then. You forgotten already? You're the primary target. Maybe they've been waiting for you to get out. True, and the fact is I don't really have any other way of defending myself. But then again, it's not like they were completely, like, able to capture me, considering it's like, just knowing that they're defectors means that they have some weakness in the fact that they're not, like, new, perfect model constructs, where they would have already had, like, any weak points, like, covered up or something. Just stay here and keep in touch. I'll go around the town and investigate. I'll find some clues, I swear. You gonna be alright on your own? Cut the nonsense. You only slow me down. Noctis has a point, but given his personality, you so deeply suspect whether you can even start a proper conversation with the locals. Perhaps you should just start praying that he'll not engage in another conflict. Hey, mate, you know this guy. I was like, yeah, man passing by. Takes a Diamond's photo and tries to ask. Hey you, old woman. You seen him? Holly finds another elderly woman selling her crops at a shop on the roadside. Seems quite easygoing. To Noctis' terminal, then stays in for quite a while before revealing a smile. Her voice that is way too loud for her age, she pulls the door closer, grade 4, shutting Noctis. So clueless about just what happened outside. this. Shit! What's wrong with these people? Despite the negative experiences, Noctis just scrambles and continues on his journey to find the next person who may possibly listen to him. Hey, I mean, at least he's not just automatically beating them up, so that's a step forward. I promise to find some clues. We don't go back empty-handed. That sucks. Meanwhile, in a dark corner that Noctis not noticed, the person he's after already has his eyes on him. That idiot's still looking for me. He would never imagine that I'm just right here under his nose. Smug smile, diving past the shoulder of the person next to him. It wouldn't be so smooth without your help, fan. I grew up in this town. Nobody knows the people better here than I do. Babylonia outsiders have a hard time here. The Forsaken troops will soon pass through here. Since you've helped me, you're our friend. Rest assured that we'll keep the locals unbothered. I don't care about the uninvited outsiders. It'll be great if you can drive them both away. No matter what, I won't let anything harm this town. It's the last thing that can remind me of Mother. That's easy. But I still don't know about your father. He seems to want this town to remain neutral. We warned him many times, but he refuses to give in. He really has no clue who is providing shelter for this town. Ah, I see. He's creating this power struggle. And in doing so, he allows the defectors to stay here. Due to a cooperative relationship, the Forsaken camp has been setting up gates to protect New Oakley from corrupted for years. He only clings to old-fashioned ideals like neutrality and freedom. Must have forgotten how Mother died long ago. Tim looks at Fanway and a smile. To him, those people with resentment cannot be any easier to control. Yeah, I figured. As long as things can go smoothly this time, I'll recommend you to Generalissimo. You'll be able to join the Forsaken and seek revenge against Babylonia. Wait. Ah, shit, the tummy. Revenge against Babylonia? Is that really possible? We the Forsakens are just like you. Every single one of us hates Babylonia for some reason. After Generalissimo joined us, we've also been secretly accepting the victims of Babylonia. Ah, so he's pretending to be a Forsaken. Soon, we'll grow into a formidable power. Hypocrites in Babylonia won't even be able to imagine what's coming for them. That points at a faraway tower glowing in blue light. Sharp gleam in his eyes. We deserve a place in the area under that light, but Babylonia is taking it all away. Are the Forsakens gonna attack the clean zone? Correct. And this town acts as a crucial gate near the clean zone, but the worries about corrupt interference. As long as you can allow the Forsaken troops to pass, our plan will succeed. Damage squints at Noctis, who's still wasting effort in his futile investigation. But right now, these two from Babylonia are our greatest obstacle. It'll be a lot of trouble if they discover our plan before it's executed. Fine. Those scums always disgrace this town. But now would be a good time to make use of them. Excellent idea. If the locals here take action, those Babylonian people will probably hold back due to those hypocritical rules. Feeling extremely bored in the room, you cannot figure out what to do. What you heard in the terminal, Noctis seems to have no progress at all. Can't help but let out a sigh. Seems like an eternity since the last time you felt so powerless. Once again, you realize your limit as a commander. But then, someone knocks on the door slowly and steadily. Take off the terminal and instinctively reach under the pillow where the pistol's hidden. Who is it? While waiting for a response, the door is pushed open. A burly man walks in assuredly. Mr. Max, what can I do for you? You are commandant of Babylonia. A smart person. Okay. He's actually just talking. Max sits down in a chair, handing his cane to one of his followers. I am a commandant, but I may not be that smart. Seems not surprised at the absence of Noctis, indicating he must have picked this time when Noctis isn't around. Then I hope your intelligence won't bring you too much trouble. Or your unintelligence. The rules you are used to don't work here. This place is a haven for criminals, thugs, scumbags, and people who couldn't make it anywhere else. These people, well, will not surprise anyone they suddenly lose their lives the next moment. Ah, yeah. That's why it's like they're trying to have an alliance with the Forsaken, right? Because, again, people thrown away, not caring about them, but not necessarily so safe that it's like you can bring them to the Forsaken directly. Trying to get us out of here? That construct probably has some reason to stay, but I can tell you that you are different. Glad to the communicator you were working on just now. Screen still shows the Babylonian message title. You still want to return to Babylonia, don't you? That's why he sees this moment and tries to convince you. Thanks for the advice, but unfortunately I'm probably also a criminal now. If you fail to find Diamond, you won't be able to explain why you went solo. Joint operation with Noctis, who is a suspect, can only be interpreted as attempting to defect. Even if you stay here, you won't find anything. Like I said, you're not welcome here. This place is full of criminals, thugs, scums, and people who couldn't make it anywhere else. Right. We're just like them now. Maxi's somewhat surprised. You don't know if it's just a delusion, but his gaze softened slightly. In that case, I won't be able to stop you. You'll become the new blood of New Oakley. He stands up, takes the cane for the follower, and firmly plants on the ground where Chris thud. Now that you become a resident of the town, you must, like the others, find a job that suits you. Anyone without a job here will be expelled. Job? Whatever job could you possibly handle over to being commanded? But then you hear a loud noise from the communicator in your hand, followed by several screams. Like this? Wait, I want to see Generalissimo. I feel like I should know that name from something. I'm trying to check from names of like past enemies I faced. Is it who I think it is? Yes, I think. Was that Ballard's? What they described him as? Let's see. No, that's not it. But Data. Damn it! What the hell? What do you mean backstory? How do I not have his backstory? Bro! At least I think it should be him, right? There's no one else I could think of. Or I guess I could be completely wrong and it's like you're someone else. Wait, Nanja, what the fuck was this? I don't remember doing that. Right? Where did I face this guy before? I honestly don't even know. Oh, jeez. So much shit going on. I'm trying to find him here, but... A ballad, yeah. So it was... Yeah, I'm assuming that's who they made Generalissimo, but could be wrong. Damn, I hate that this always just goes back to the beginning and doesn't go to like where I was last set in this. Whatever. Brand insane. What's the point of just giving this to me? A decrepit camp, a construct smashes a metal object onto the face of the other construct. The construct, wearing a purifying force emblem, silently picks up the name tag from the ground and wipes off the dirt on it. The not so clean cuff in his uniform. I'll take it back if you don't need it. Puts the name tag in his pocket and turns away. Is that all? Do you have anything else to say? No. I said everything. He's still alive? No comment. What did he do wrong? No comment. Did you do it yourself? The construct in the task force uniform asks one last question with a trembling voice. Purifying force member falls silent for a moment. No comment. So replies with the same cold-hearted response. But the task force member already has his answer from his hesitation. It really was you. 3 of us grew up together. How could you? You purifying force bastard. All you do was climb up the ranks on dead bodies. Unable to accept the reality, he raises his fist. But like forgetting the other construct's identity is a purifying force member. Sorry. but I can't just ignore that. Once Fist lands, it's grabbed by another strong guy. What are you doing? Let me go! Noctis, I'm fine. Set him free. Do you really think I'm helping you? Other man shows a sinister smile with haunting eyes under his wind gums. Honestly, I don't like either of you, but I just dislike this guy more. Stop being wishy-washy. Move aside. This shows no courtesy even to his colleague. Where was I up to? Right, you called him a purifying force bastard. I'm not as nice as the others. Apologize or get beaten up. Which one will you choose? Did I say anything wrong? You purifying force people always get married from killing our own folks. We're all constructs. Because you the right to determine our fate. What nonsense are you spouting? Your fate only depends on whether you're loyal or not. I wouldn't feel bad at all to kill a traitor. And tell me clearly, what did he do wrong? Why would I know? You were just following orders from above. You're just a puppy wagging your tail to your master. What did you say? He raises his eyebrows. Those known well would know that this is a sign of him resorting to violence. You must have enjoyed yourself in safe zones where we risked our lives fighting corrupted on the front line, huh? You never had to worry about being infected or lack of supplies. When you become too weak to fight, you just come to get rid of us. Filthy scavengers. Ballard used to be a hero. He now has become a watchdog for the powerful ones, solving his own people with you pups. Fine. You don't need to apologize. Noctis. Let's see what may happen next. The Purifying Force Construct once knocked. Even if you beg me, I'm gonna beat you so hard. You only have one breath left. Bring it on. I've had enough of you. Stop. Sorry, my hand just slipped. Ah, so he was in charge of getting rid of defectors, I guess. This is your 5th time receiving disciplinary action this month. Constantly middle-aged look sits opposite to Noctis in an overly simple room. Speaks unemotionally while reading Noctis' disciplinary report. Right, yes, because he did technically work with them back then and then left to become the Forsaken. Because that's how we had connections before. It was his bad for saying things he shouldn't say. Magnus never fears anything or anyone. The man's scrutinizing look still makes him look or feel like sitting on a hot chair. He's not even asked to sit though. This man defeated him during his most difficult, out-of-control times, then adopted and raised him, bringing him back for the abyss of despair. But after spending such a long time together, Ballard's still a man of mystery to Noctis. Oh, so he also knew Ballard. That's interesting. I guess that would explain his great CQC abilities. Because yeah, we don't really have that many constructs who are mainly just fist fighters. But Ballard was a pretty physical opponent we had to deal with. Still, it doesn't mean that there's any estrangement between Ballard and him. Quite the opposite. Noctis has nothing but unspoken respect for this man who almost gave him a second life. Captain, can you take him off already? I feel like my head is getting flat. Noctis is battling a stack of steel plates on his head like a circus performer. Forward to falling on his feet, he has to stay straight. You can only take them off when I say so. I can't really change your temper, so this is all I can do. I thought the penalty was less severe than last month. Why'd you put more plates on me? Because it's only a week into this month. You even laid hands on someone from the same unit, didn't you? Because that sissy guy was helping an outsider against me. I was just trying to protect the Purifying Force's dignity. Wait, why'd you put even more plates on me, cat? Noctis barely keeps his balance under the suddenly increased load. It's the range he left to argue back.
You continue to act this way, the next time it will be the control core coming for you. We'll be able to help you then. Let others say whatever they want. They'll make the situation even more unstable. What we're doing may not be understood by others. Still, it's necessary justice. The third evacuation has just ended. Too many people are trying to do their dirty deeds under the table. Someone's got to keep an eye on them. That's why I proposed to establish the Purifying Force in the first place. The Purifying Force was supposed to be a silent watch, just like its emblem. But your personality is way too... So Noctis so struggling to stay still with many steel plates on his head, Balance shakes his head. Maybe I should send you back to Bianca's squad, so you have more time watching and learning from them. Oh, right. Was that explained that he founded the Purifying Force? Or created it? I don't know if that was actually explained, but it would explain why the units are like that. Or at the most part. Don't! Like this sounds like a dog whose tail has been stepped on. He probably would have already jumped up if he didn't have the plates on his head. Please don't put me in her squad ever again. You don't know how much I suffered under her. It's just a rule for every single thing. Marcus's face becomes twisted from the painful memories. Even if I was late for a little while, or landed a couple more punches on a tough suspect, she would make me write 2 or 3 pages to explain. And it definitely sounds like Bianca. I feel like my frame has aged 10 years just by staying with that stubborn, cricky one. Would you rather go on a mission with Nigel? Sorry, but I don't have the habit of bringing a loudspeaker with me. Kazuk in the black coat walks past Noctis. I just didn't even notice him before he spoke. Fuck. I know you walk without a sound, but how did you manage to open the door so quietly? Because someone with Stegosaurus's brain forgot to close the door. Oh, okay. Still, how did I find him? What, did I have like a story thing that happened? That is crazy. I mean, he looks pretty cool, actually. I don't know why you suddenly mentioned a dinosaur, but it must be sarcasm, right? The steel plates on your head are about to fall off. As Ballard's right-hand men, Nigel and Noctis have a similar past. Completely opposite personality. Oh, wait. Hold up. I think I might know who Nigel is. Didn't I find him in Watanabe's story too? I think, because as Ballard's right-hand man, we probably had to go through him because he probably sent Nigel to eliminate Watanabe, considering he was still alive when he was supposed to be eliminated. Is that where I remember Nigel from? You guys have to remind me. Because I can only assume it was probably around then. Well, I can only assume, but... completely different personalities. One is noisy, the other is silent. One excels in direct confrontations, the other in stealthy assassinations. One is known for getting frequent disciplinary actions. The other never fails to kill his target but remains unknown. Personalities make them incompatible. Yet their similar experience makes them like brothers. Did you find out everything? Yeah. Noctis, your punishment is over. You can go back now. Alrighty. Phew, it's finally over. Rubs his red hair, making it all fluffy again. Found another group of guilty guys? Time for me to come into action. Noctis flexes his wrists, eager to get involved. These targets don't suit you. They need to be handled covertly. By the speaks as he flips through the list of submitted by Nigel. Just stay on standby for now. Wait until your accumulated penalties are cleared. Alright. Noctis may have posted about don't underestimate me in front of someone else, but he just cannot utter those words to Ballard. Close the door when you leave. Nigel speaks expectantly as Noctis walks past him. I will. Noctis gives his taciturn brother a friendly hand gesture, then slams the door shut. Heavy breaths pump
pump air into the frame, bringing the heavy odor of construct vital fluid. Oh, this. Yeah, we saw this before. The victim of this anger, Nigel, along with one of his arms, quietly lie on the battle-worn ground. Not far from them is the origin of his sorrow. Ballard, the person that Noctis respects the most, lies lifeless at Nigel's feet. It was nothing but a simple mission to begin with. Saying that Ballard, Noctis, and Nigel all participated, it could be considered a piece of cake. However, just as Noctis tied up his target to a concrete pillar while muttering how long it had been since he had last been on such an easy mission, he lost contact with Ballard and Nigel together. Following the combat traces left behind, Noctis finally found two of them. Or just the remaining one. Having no time to ponder why Ballard fell next to Nigel's feet or why Nigel pulled his battle staff from Ballard's chest, Noctis' body moved first. Crouching over like a beast, Noctis chops off Nigel's arm. It still has vital fluid on it. Nigel soon recovers and picks up a katana from the ground with his foot. Nigel! Despite his left arm separated from his body, Noctis rams his forehead into Nigel's, not feeling any pain. Why? Using every part of his frame, Noctis completely disregards the damage to himself for every strike, leaving no room for Nigel to utilize his mobility. Katanas are snapped from collisions. Temperature of their frames continues to rise from intense action stirring up their mind. Slowly, the man in black's been pushed to the cliff's edge. You just won't say anything, huh? Fine! Punching his teeth, Noctis picks up the heavily damaged katana and holds it up trembling. Okay then. Just die! Noctis coming at him, Nigel sighs as if he's given up. This is probably our last conversation, so I'm only going to say this once. Use your brain and think. Who else other than Ballard could give me orders? Nigel utters an unusually long sentence, but Noctis not lowered the broken blade. It can't be. Yes, someone above. Nigel affirms Noctis' unspoken yes. Why? Because he crossed the line. Because they found him annoying. No way! Captain will never betray humanity! Maybe. But to some people, seeking equal rights or even privileges for constructs would be considered a betrayal of humanity. Even at this moment, Noctis could only hear a hint of self-mockery in Nigel's tone, so a sign of emotional changes on his face. Of course, that's not the most important point. What matters most is that the purifying force has already ripened. Ballard's become a scarecrow that's standing in their way. What do you mean? Ballard hadn't told you anything, had he? It makes sense, though. Otherwise, you would have gone into an argument long ago. The situation in Babylonia is very complex. There are a lot of problems that cannot be exposed. Sometimes it's a lot easier to eliminate the problem maker than the problem itself. But when Ballard refused to let them use the purifying force in such a manner, you became a problem maker too. Even so, you wouldn't. Even so, you wouldn't! Besides, you never used your poison on me just now. You must have a reason, right? He grits his teeth looking for a reason. Maybe Nigel was threatened. Maybe it was Ballard's own plan all along. Or any reason will do, even if it doesn't make much sense. Do you think Ballard could be easily dealt with? I finished all my poison to battle with him. If you don't want to believe it, just forget what I said after you kill me. Other people will take care of the rest. Just pretend as if you know nothing. Nigel! Nigel's in different tones think Noctis has already battle-worn hard. Forced himself not to swing the blades, squeezing onto every syllable from between his teeth. No. You're coming back with me. Whoever asked you to kill Cap, I'll dig their names out of your mouth and make sure they get the punishment they deserve. That's to just Cap believed in. Noctis, you really are too kind for the purifying force. But I can do the things you can't do. You just kick me away? For the away and falls to Nigel's hands in the blink of an eye. Time to finish you off now. Attacker and defender switch their roles. Noctis tries to get up, but he feels a numbness in the chest where Nigel's kick landed. The poison! You said it was all used up. I gave you a chance. You were so naive and disappointing. Never trust your enemy again in the next life. Noctis suddenly bursts into a horse-sharp laughter. It sounds like a desperate roar from the underground. You don't want to come with me. Sensor on Nigel's head is severely damaged from the previous battle, significantly compromising perception. So he didn't notice that Noctis left an inconspicuous rock before he was kicked away. Then let's die together! Violent explosion goes to Nigel and Battle. Also sends Noctis flying. Is that everything? No matter how many times you ask, I had nothing more to tell. After regaining consciousness at the start of life, Noctis was visited by the Control Court Inquisitor. I hope you can understand. Based on the residual form of the explosion, if what you said was true, it would be quite challenging for us to find the intact bodies of former Purifying Force member Nigel and former Purifying Force Captain Ballard. Ah, yes, I see. So that's when they disappeared from action. And also why no one knew of Ballard's existence until the day when he tried to create a revolution against Babylonia. Right. That is also a fact. Still, we're unable to determine whether they had fallen off the cliff or were blown to pieces by your explosive. Or it was just my lie. Is that what you're trying to imply? Noctis wants to shoot away the person in front like swatting a fly, but realizes he can only move his lips. You can access the memory data of my mind, can't you? Just take a look yourself. We will. But considering your current injuries, in conjunction with the device from the military commander and the new Purifying Force captain, be carried out after you recover. What? The Purifying Force has a new captain already? Strictly speaking, she's just taking over temporarily. Well, now that we have brought the topic up, I shall let her talk about it. It's you. During Noctis' somewhat sarcastic greeting, Bianca just nods at him and turns toward the Inquisitor. Inquisitor, I still insist on my original viewpoint. Until concrete evidence of betrayal is obtained, Noctis should not be moved out of the Purifying Force. But you've also heard about the recent rumors within the Purifying Force. They've been saying he killed those two. I think it's better to take him away for the sake of the Purifying Force's internal relationship. Rumors are just rumors. If we force him to leave just because of those ungrounded accusations, that would be a violation of justice. Please give me some time. I'll sort this out. Watching the two of them arguing, Noctis suddenly recalls the conversation he had above the cliff. Of course, that's not the most important point. What matters is that the Purifying Force has already ripened, but Ballard has become a scarecrow that's standing in their way. Ballard hadn't told you anything, had he? Makes sense, though. Otherwise, you would have gone into an argument long ago. The situation in Babylonia is very complex. There are a lot of problems that cannot be exposed. Sometimes it's a lot easier to eliminate the problem maker than the problem itself. But when Ballard refused to let them use the Purifying Force in such a manner, he became a problem maker too. Noctis, you really are too kind for the Purifying Force. Why don't we just ask him? I think I want to change the mood after all. Besides, I really don't want to work under this woman. Spare me, please. Noctis. Noctis sat away from Bianca's gaze, pretending to be distracted by the device on his bedside. Basically, I don't want to stay in the Purifying Force anymore. Can you just let me go, dear Captain? Alright. I respect your wish. Still, I will take care of the rumors. One more thing. Just take this as if I'm talking to myself. Running away is not going to fix any problem. Bianca's left. Once again, there are only Noctis and the Inquisitor in the ward. Why are you still here? I thought you already asked all your questions. First dude turns on the video camera on his chest and goes to the screen. Actually, I have a suggestion regarding your own assignment. It was also Mr. Hansen's suggestion. Ah, I see, that's what moved him to the new squad. Very interesting. I see, so that's the moment when Ballard and Nigel had disappeared. And that Noctis actually knew them. That's even more interesting. Damn, I really wish I had actually kind of played this alongside the knowledge of Aeon Reforged. That would have made things so much more clear. Not like now, where it's like I barely remember a good amount of the information. This is weird. Terminal suddenly emits a loud noise. Or a lot of noise. Like the calls he was fiddling with it in the morning. Hello? Commandant? Can you hear me? Hope I didn't break it. How unlucky. I was feeling rather gloomed due to the faulty terminal and having no progress in his investigation. So his alertness is unaffected. But people was coming at him. How convenient. Just when I'm having a bad mood, there are sandbags coming my way. Oh, is it time for old Western throwdown? Let's do this.
始めるぜ。絶望へのカウントダウン。ぶっ飛ばしてやる。ほら、ぶっ飛ばしてやる。始めるぜ。絶望へのカウントダウン。笑えるぜ。これくらいで俺を殺せると思ってんの？へえ、知りてえのか。笑えるぜ。これくらいで俺を殺せると思ってんの？へえ、始めるぜ。絶望へのカウントダウン。笑えるぜ。これくらいで俺を殺せると思ってんの？ぶっ飛ばしてこうだ。お前なんかより3度前。始めるぜ。絶望へのカウントダウン。へえ、こうだ。お前なんかより殺せると思ってんの？始めるぜ。絶望へのカウントダウン。おいおい、もう終わりか。ただのウォームアップだろ。
All of a sudden, the terminal begins to emit nothing but white noise. No idea what happened to Noctis. Noctis? Hello?
Noctis? Only know his approximate location before the signal disappeared, based on distance displayed on the terminal. Seems to still be within the town and not far from you. I already warned you to not leave the inn. What if it's a trap? It seems that there's some trouble in town. Well, I was just about to go and check it out. Now, come with us. You want to find that red-haired construct, don't you? Mover Max would indeed be safer, but as the mayor, Max himself could not be trusted entirely. What? Scared that I might kill you? Nah, I'll go with you, Max. Good. It's good to have guts here. Max stops and takes a puff of his cigar. And just call me Mayor. As the door opens, a deafening sound and a strong warm scent of alcohol gush out, as if you entered another world parallel to the quiet street. What is this place? To speak twice as loud as usual to make sure others can hear you. This is the town's tavern. Alcohol is a necessity for most people here, especially on nights like this. Right, their motivation, right? Because even if they're not free necessarily from the punishing, at least they'll be free of mind. Max takes a deep breath, savoring the rich aroma of malt in the air with a hint of pride on his face. Smells like another good year. Alcohol. Though there are also alcoholic beverages in Babylonia, they are essentially regulated items under strict control. Here they're sold like a common commodity. Not to mention that using naturally produced food rather than synthetic food to brew drinks is, in a sense, quite extravagant. This is the golden blood of New Oakley. He picks up a glass of foamy golden beer and drains it. Nowhere near as polished as wine, or as mellow as sake. Beer is just a simple beverage of joy and freedom. Would you like to grab a drink? No, thanks. I'm still on a mission. You're too stiff, Commander. Perhaps you should learn from him and try not to think so much. Just then you hear enthusiastic shouts and cheers from a crowded corner of the tavern. You know what? I fought tons of those hetero creatures in that bloody forest. Didn't take me more than a punch to finish them off. What's more, I was finding them while protecting the grave and commanding. Yeah, I figured Noctis would get along with him. Look, the commander I was talking about has arrived. Over here. Noctis? When you make your way through the crowd and taking a good look through the faint smoky light, you finally see Noctis. However, everyone else, he's working hard this way. Right on his face suggests he's had an alcohol-flavored electrolyte. That's something you never knew they made here. Yo, Noctis. Had a little too much to drink? And of course, he's a lightweight. You're surprised the local butts naturally into the conversation. Well, I sure never knew he couldn't handle alcohol. Are you out of your mind? Remember how we chopped off the head of that stupid shit that made fun of him 10 minutes ago? Glad that Noctis didn't seem to hear what had been said about him. You guys seem to have a lot of respect for him. And these are the same people who found Noctis' attitude so repulsive half an hour ago that they almost wanted to spit on his head. We do. Because he was there and took care of those hetero creatures and kept our food safe for us. God only knows what would have become of this year's Harvest Festival if he weren't there. Oh, right, yeah, they are having that right now, aren't they? Fuck yeah! We might not be on the right side of justice, but that ain't mean we backstab people who lend us a helping hand. These people are probably what most would consider evildoers, but they seem like total scoundrels who can't tell right from wrong. And it ain't like we stand a chance to find them anyway. Damn straight! Oh boy. Hey, Commander, what you doing over there? Come over here already. What do you want? We'll shove you up toward Noctis. In front of him now, you see that he isn't just standing on a chair, but stands with a leg on the table. Let's dance. Dance? Is it right here? Does it matter where as long as we can enjoy ourselves? Come on! This red glow of light, Noctis holds his hand out at you with a smile. So I remember what Max said.
This town's a place where one doesn't need to think too much before they act. And here we go. With a moment's hesitation, you grab Noctis' hand, which pulls you right up the table before you even know what happened. People around the table burst out shouting and laughing, which eases up the awkward mood. So you have absolutely no idea what you're supposed to do next. Ready to spice things up with some breakdance? Are you for real? Come on, don't be shy. But I don't even know. Before you even finish the sentence, Noctis still on the table is already shaking his arms and legs in an attempt to do what remotely seems like a breakdance. Well, here goes nothing. But it doesn't matter. This is a dance needs to be methodical anyway. Moves might not be quite up to snuff, but it doesn't really matter so long as you enjoy every moment of it. With it, more drunks get on the table after Noctis and start dancing away at the music. I pick up the last drop bottle from the floor and pass it to the tavern's owner, just to look at the window and see a hint of light just around the horizon. How time flies. Can't help but let out a yawn, feeling a chill down your spine as you recall the FOS disqualifies anyone during an operation for letting out so much as a yawn. On the floor now, however, lie a bunch of people including Noctis, their arms and legs sprawling every which way. Look at this guy. He's only been in town for a day and he's already acting like he's been living here all his life. Wouldn't have had any doubt even if you had told me he was from here. So, how do you like this place so far, Commander? Just never saw myself breakdance on a table. Well, that's life for you. Que sera, sera. And like I said before, you need a job and you want to stay here and look into that guy by the name of Diamond. Says Max as he nods at the tavern's owner, who reciprocates the gesture with a friendly smile. Probably a good idea for y'all to get yourselves a job here. I'm sure they can use a few extra hands here during the Harvest Festival. Well, a commander is all I've ever learned how to be. But it seems you'll have to leave that aside for now. But I guess I wouldn't mind giving working here a try. And as for the construct that goes wherever you go, that's like a real champ. So let's take him down to Fan and have him help keep the town safe. Fan? That's my son. He works as the town sheriff. Said he wanted to keep the town safe and all. Think he just might be able to help y'all if you look into something. That's if he wants to, though, of course. Of course. Now here comes your first task. Get the drunk bastards out of here. Before Max turns around and leaves, Tavern's owner, on the other hand, rolls up his sleeves and reveals legs, bulging muscles. Zeke that hardly fits his appearance. Single-handedly, he picks up one of the guys off the floor and flings him out the door. Why am I even here? Damn, to go from commandant to being a barton. Oh, how things change. Okay, how am I doing so far with this? 41. Alright, yeah, I could do a bit more. If I could at least get the 50%, that'd be great. Alive or dead? Meanwhile, at Oasis, a leader left with a team of our men to take care of the header creatures that showed up. Having trouble getting a hold of them because there's a strong magnetic disruption where they are. How many times are you gonna make me repeat that? We already asked these to come down and he's on the way here. You can go ahead and tell me what you need while we wait. Nope, not gonna do that. You don't seem like you're in charge here. The mayor said I needed to speak with the one in charge. Says the man in bizarre outfit as he takes a swig of a flagon from around his waist. Boy, this is my first time delivering a message. It sure is making me nervous. You weren't supposed to drink here. Don't sweat it. It's just wheatgrass juice. See, I can't take alcohol. Wait, you're from New Oakley, but you can't drink? Seeing the suspicious look on that soldier's face, the man quickly corrects himself. Well, I can't really drink what I'm out on official errand now, can I? Says the man as he burps. So his flagon open to let the soldier smell its content. It smells anything but alcoholic. Want a sip? Think I'll pass. Well, that's a shame.
Man takes another swig of what he claims to be wheatgrass juice, filling the air with a crisp aroma. And I thought you guys were on friendly terms with Babylonia, no? Heard from some guys from out of town that you worked together a few times, but taken some loss. Most of the guys that they sent from Babylonia are constructs that are good to go again with some quick fixes. But they ain't gonna fly with you human soldiers, no? Did they ever treat you people at all? Or did they just go puff when they're done with their business? We'd have still gone to help those people even without Babylonia's help. I'd stop sticking my nose into people's business if I were you. The soldier clutches his gun, and as he does so, you can seem to feel the heat coming from the blood-tainted name tag on his pocket. Come on, man, chill. I was just saying. Say, where is the guy I'm supposed to talk to? Is he still on his way? A steady voice comes from behind the man. The soldier standing before him salutes to the person behind him. Sir Ballard, I heard we had a friend hailing from New Oakley ready to share some intel with us. As he salutes the soldier, Ballard turns around to face that man. I'm the one in charge of the Forsaken when Watanabe's away, so feel free to talk to me. If you're intimidated by Ballard's demeanor, the man quickly stands upright as he fastens the flag in his waist. Yes, I came to share some very important intel with you. Are you sure about that? After hearing what that man from New Oakley had to say, everyone looks dubiously at him. I swear to God, I'm not lying. The commander who shared the intel with me seemed important enough. Based on the way that angry conscript followed that commandant's orders, there's no way the commandant is here to defect to us, right? You were saying Babylonia is trying to add New Oakley to their territory. It's a whole bunch of nonsense. Are they seriously gonna fight for this land on Earth now when they abandoned Earth and left it to suffer? They came a long way since the Great Evacuation, though. At least they seem willing to work together now. Come on, son. You weren't even born when the Great Evacuation was happening. Right. But I've been fighting alongside Sir Watanabe for long enough. I believe what I see with my very own eyes. You know what his problem is? It's being too much of a pushover. We wouldn't have been where we are today had he tried to keep the space's independence by force. Just think about what we're still trying to keep at the base safe. And he has to personally get rid of the hetero creatures himself. Alright, that's quite enough. Ballard's stern tone of voice, the argument quietly dies down. Sir, Babylonia doesn't seem like they want to talk this out at all. That's why we're all having such a difficult time swallowing here. Oh, my bad, wrong person. I couldn't really tell. I just tried to put a different voice. So he's never spoke. So now speaks up. We understand why they want to do what they're trying to do, but the way they're going about it screams arrogance. The clean zone belongs to everyone. It isn't Babylonia's private territory. They seem to think of Earth as something they own and don't realize that there are people trying to survive on this very planet they abandoned. New Oakley is an important source of food to the Forsaken. I just hate the idea of seeing our lifeline privatized again. I mean, it isn't the first time they've done that anyway. I totally understand where you're coming from, but let's just take a moment to remember that not everyone from Babylonia wants the Forsaken gone. Which is why we need to strike a balance before we have what it takes to go independent. There's still a possibility for conservation, so there's no need for us to complicate things by being hostile. Why is why. Alright, when Ballard's about to go on, every terminal on the Forsaken discussion starts blaring. A distress signal? It's Zong! Man, why they gotta hit me with the feels again about Zong? He'd sacrifice himself to save Commander Watanabe. What's this dude? Watanabe is taking a team of Forsakens with him to build an area of defense where other creatures have previously been found. Zong is willing to forsake that way with Watanabe. Assault! All channels! So it's so bad that
All that's coming from Zong's side on the line now are odd phrases, gunshots, and the sounds of explosions. Zong, are you a Watanabe? What's going on? Purifying force. Severely wounded. Help! The video shakes violently. Zong keeps his eyes down. Seems like he's tracking something. Right then from behind Zong, he receives a shrapnel shell coming straight at him with trailing smoke. Zong, drop down now! But the video turns blank to Forsaken sees Zong drop down. With it, the video turns blank and everyone present falls silent. Sounds like it doesn't last long. Forsaken that was shouting at the top of his lungs just moments ago stands up, chair creaking against the floor. Dude, what the hell? Not saying anything, the Forsaken walks out the door. Observer whom he was having a heated argument just moments ago stands up too and follows him outside. Where are you going? I don't know about you. I'm totally ready to give Babylon a piece of my mind here. He spits out the worst. The other guy beside him nods and sounds agreement. Are you trying to freak everyone out now? Come back and sit down already. Ballard! Think no one knows what you've done? You were the one who founded the Purifying Force back in the post-pandemic age. Finding it hard to let Babylonia go now? I'm as good as dead to the Purifying Force. But you're not thinking all of these through with a straight head. That's definitely not something that either Watanabe or I've taught you. What if the video was fake? It might seem like the Purifying Force is attacking Zong. But what if that's not what he was trying to tell us? But it's got to do with them no matter what. I'm sure they're keeping an eye on us as we speak anyway. Well, be that as it may, how exactly are you gonna find them? You're just gonna shout at the top of your lungs so the entire world can hear you. How are you gonna deal with them when you find them? You're just gonna do them in without a trial? Exactly how are you going to make sure nothing is going to happen at the border when you've met Babylonia head on? The shadow seems to loom bigger with every position, causing the air to grow and heavier by the second. Found a way to be true from Ballard's words, the Forsaken says no more. If I may, sir, what exactly are we supposed to do? I'd have the video we just saw now analyzed by our technicians and start looking for survivors where Watanabe went to build the area defense. It's Watanabe we're talking about. Don't come across a guy as tough as him every day. We need to take the initiative if Babylonia's really behind this. Now, I don't mean that we're getting back at them. We're just trying to get back what's rightfully ours before they go any further with the clean zone. Be it getting them to do as we say, or going against them. We'll need to first get our hands on a few trump cards. We'll need these trump cards to either ask them to spill the beans about Watanabe or ask them to save him. I don't think Sir Watanabe would have agreed to this had he been here. But I think most people here will agree if this is something we have to do to save him. Right. And we need to come up with a plan first. As for our friend from New Oakley. Well, I thought I was already done here. Guess we'll need you to stay for just a bit longer. Well, sure then. The man's about to say no, but quickly decides that he really isn't in a position to do so, given how really outnumbered he is. See if people look the other way, the Reserve Forsaken stops shaking his head. Hey, Commander, give me the usual thing. A glass of ice water. This guy comes here every day and orders nothing but a glass of ice water. Sorry, but we don't serve ice water today. We put a sign put on the bar counter that reads no free ice water during the Harvest Festival. Wait, seriously? And when the man's head droops with disappointment, you put a glass of alcohol-flavored electrolyte in front of him. Wait, I didn't know what it is, did I? It's on the house. I knew you were a cool person right from the start. Oh? Not from Babylonia anymore? Well, don't you think it's only fair for you to share some intel with me now? Our mayor kicked a bunch of hooligans out of town a while back because they were being less than submissive. They all hung around this brewery nearby town. Bunch of hooligans, huh? That includes you, I presume? Cut me some slack, but here already. See, I respect our mayor with all my heart. Me and my men would have died years back had it not been for him. So I stopped the man before he goes on.
So, what's the deal with the hooligans you were talking about?
Oh, right, the hooligans. Well, they've been quite active since y'all came to town. I don't know what that has to do with the person you're looking into. I heard they bought a bunch of food before the Harvest Festival. God only knows why they did that. Not to mention it's anyone's guess how they got the money to do that in the first place.
Food, huh?
And Harvest Festival is today. Those guys are all on the streets now, and I bet they're up to something.
Got it.
I brought wine glasses you wanted to value the intel. The damn is people are really trying to pull something off in this town. The time is chaotic as the Harvest Festival would be their best bet. And that too makes for the best opportunity for you to catch them right in the act. You hear it, Noctis?
Yep, heard every word.
So there's a good chance they might show up today and cause a scene, right?
I see, camouflage.
Noctis isn't always a deep thinker, but he can be sharp-witted when he has to be.
Right. That's where you come into the picture to look for Diamond.
Alright, just watch and learn, partner.
Partner, you said?
Yep, how do you like that? Thought I'd call you that for now, instead since you aren't playing your commandant role, and I'm not a task force member anymore.
I see. Guess that works.
I know, right?
Partner.
It is indeed better than anything you can think of right now. I like how there's a ring of equality and neutrality to it. I've been meaning to ask you this. What exactly is the thing you're wearing? Oh, you mean this? They're going up off from one of the stalls just now at the Harvest Festival Market. This guy picked it for me.
Totally fits the mood. Dude, that doesn't seem out of place at all. Walking right next to the rest of the festival goers wearing all sorts of crazier outfits.
Look, you know where the door is that you want to show yourself out now. Huh? Look, smartass, you ain't my boss. I just here to get my job done. Ever since that time I Noctis protected the townspeople from the hetero creatures that had shown up out of nowhere, Noctis has been working with Fan, the town sheriff, to keep the town safe. Because you take orders from no one but that commandant, huh? That's how things work back at Babylonia, I presume. I take orders from no one. I do, however, take requests from partners, though. Noctis greets an old lady enthusiastically as he passes her by, despite the fruit that she insists on giving him. But look who's talking now. How do you like all the orders you need to take from your old man? To mention of his father, Fan grows upset and shows the fruit in Noctis. Shoots the fruit in Noctis' hand with a disgusted look. I have nothing to do with that man. We butt heads whenever we see each other. The only reason I decided to become this town sheriff is... Well, having someone to butt heads with sounds great, doesn't it? Noctis takes another bite of fruit as he looks at the kid who's throwing a tantrum on the street because his dad refused to buy him the candy he wanted. I used to have something of a fatherly figure in my life, and a brother I would always fight with. They both died, right in front of me. So you probably want to talk with your old man when he's still around. You never know what you might get out of talking to him. Noctis pats Fan on the head, but Fan shakes him off with a disgusting face. I'm off the patrol then. Catch you in a bit. It's not until Noctis walked a good distance away that Fan pulls out a service pistol that come from Babylonia. Fan puts the pistol away in a pocket and turns around to lead the rowdy crowd. Now this outfit definitely seems more appropriate for him. Uh, nah, I'll do the investigation. You heard the sergeant was murdered last night? I quite like that guy. He's always nice to kids. Said his van camera just happened to be faulty at the time. Hey, you two. Tell me what happened just now. Well, this is what happened. A security mechanoid named Sergeant disconnected from the local area network last night. The sheriff was investigating, saying that the mechanoid seemed to have been abandoned somewhere. There are always lots of people in the tavern. Trust the owner. Hello, boss. See any weird guys recently? I think you guys are weird. Oh, these are new kinds of robots. Okay.
始めるぜ絶望へのカウントダウンへえ知りてえのか全員死ねほらお前へえ知りてえのか
There's no need for violence. I saw something. Saw the sheriff wear an unknown construct last night when throwing out the garbage. Didn't think much because I was too sleepy. Looking back, I wonder why a sheriff was with an unknown construct on the eve of the Harvest Festival. Cars took back Sergeant's body. Alright, let me listen to these guys. Why are you so good at this? Found it? Let me have a look. Go ahead. Completely broken. No one tells me. You can't, but I can. It's a reliable new Oakley sergeant seems to have run into a problem on patrol last night. Why are you this late? Based on my past year working on cases, this construct is very suspicious. No records, determined as an outsider. Sheriff, the Harvest Festival. Recording complete. Uploading the data. So you just listened to something about the sheriff and the Harvest Festival. Closest receiver. Do you remember that little beggar those two guys mentioned knocked this? Oh, that one over there. Talk nicely. Did you receive any message last night, buddy? Can I have a look? I saw you help the owner. I believe you. Yeah, I dressed up as a sheriff on patrol in Area B and destroyed a security system nearby last night. Just need to follow up according to the plan. It's key to shutting down the security system. Don't lose it. Copy that. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. on the Harvest Festival, Team A and B will carry it out according to the plan. I need to turn that security system into target. Okay. Distracted. Kara from patrol area B warehouse area. Simons patrol area B warehouse area. April 9 today. Kara and Simon. Oh, but an A and D. The maze has a shopping district. One of them must be Diamond. Alright, let's look at it. A mechanoid named Sergeant disconnected from the local area network last night. Sheriff investigating, saying that the mechanoid is still abandoned somewhere. Sure, we're on a construct. Oh, so it wasn't the sheriff they actually saw, but someone dressed up as him. Okay. Starting. Wait, let me check again. Where was the last one? Oh, shopping street. Yeah, so I think we got to check the shopping street. Oh, wrong person. Damn it. I'll be fine. I mean, this sounds a little bit back to that. Okay, I didn't know.
Oi, oi, もう終わりか。ただのウォームアップだろ。
A dark corner, a hand can be seen lifting Diamond off the ground against the wall. Come on, what's the matter? Thought you were quick on your feet. Diamond tries, to no avail. You lousy son of a... Let go. My apologies, but I'd never let my prey go. Do you really think you've earned your way back to the Purifying Force just because you have me now? Who do you think they trust? Me or you? His grimace, however, only grows more intimidating by the second, instead of a hound bearing its teeth. Well, I mean, still, then it would be better to have you dead than to go back and plead against them. I never thought about going back. I'm not one of them now anyway. I'm just one of the hooligans in this town. Now, let me show you how we deal with people like you here. With it, Noctis tightens his fist and lifts Diamond up on the wall. His chest crackling with enormous pressure. Diamond can feel the excruciating pain in his mind. It's coming from these artificial muscles. We're gonna remove your limbs real nice and slow, piece by piece. Because you see, we just don't get our hands on the parts of our authentic Babylonian construct every single day here. And we aren't gonna turn off your pain receiver, of course. See, we'd hate to see your mind deviate. And when we're done stripping you clean and you got nothing left but your life support device, artificial spine, that goddamn brain of yours, we're gonna put them all in a jar and make ourselves some nice rum with an alcohol-flavored electrolyte. Diamond's no way of knowing how much truth there is to Noctis' words. Finds him petrified down to the bone nonetheless. Nope. Hold your horses there, Noctis. Wide up, partner. Because we've got a few questions for him. Ain't gonna work. People from the Purifying Force won't spit anything. Best we just smoke him and look at his memory. He's done talking, Noctis lifts Diamond up against the wall again. So much force that Diamond's literally sink into the wall. Wait, don't kill me! I'll tell you everything you want to know. While I panic, Diamond completely forgets that Construct's memory remains inaccessible without clearance of the Construct's command. The Purifying Force even needs authorization from Nikola himself. Let's start with this one. Who exactly are you? I am a Forsaken. A Forsaken? Any proof of that? In my left pocket of my coat. Suppose a badge in the pocket, something you've seen before when you paid a Forsaken a visit. Did Watanabe send you here? Watanabe? No! I don't think orders from that son of a... Who exactly sent you here then? Can't be this Generalissimo that you were talking about now. Spot on. Although I had no idea who he is exactly. All I know is that he's the one leading the resistance against Babylonia. Sounds like one hell of a hotshot. Where is this Generalissimo then? Like just a punch at the wall behind Noctis. Or behind Diamond. Just like shatters the wall into pieces. What are you trying to do in this town? In just a few days. How many days are a few days? 3. In 3 days we'll be spearheading an attack on this town with hetero creatures. And then... Dr. Skull were bizarre laryngeal sounds emanating from his mouth. Boy, look at you go there. Really had us going. Guess I had to do this the hard way then. Mike's about to tie in his hand again when he knows that the diamond doesn't seem quite right. Hey. Pure red blood. Pure red fountain fluid that seems like blood gushes out from Diamond's mouth as it opens and closes. Noctis, what the hell? Hey, I didn't do this. Noctis starts checking for open wounds on Diamond as his vitality takes a nosedive. Wait, this guy's injured? He's poisoned. Poison? Never heard of any poison that works at constructs. Didn't even see any poison sign or Diamond to begin with. Suddenly, Noctis lets go with Diamond and rushes out of the alley, apparently having recalled something. Noctis, where are you going? Nigel! Then went inside, Noctis shouts into the air. Show your face now! Noctis, calm down already. I can't! The son of a gun just poisoned a guy back there. He's gotta still be around now. His clenched hands crackly and his teeth squeezed, Noctis scrutinizes every last corner for Nigel. Nigel, he's still alive. I totally knew that, and he just murdered a person right in my nose. Noctis do it now is making yourself widely susceptible if Nigel is actually around. You're making yourself completely defenseless, Noctis. Let's get out of here first. No, he's gotta be somewhere around. I'm not leaving until he shows up. Noctis! I need you to trust me here, partner. The air growl fury, Noctis walks away. Noctis completely out of sight, a figure walks out of a corner where the light of the campfire can't reach. Ah, okay, yeah, so this is when they're starting to set the stage for the revolution, right? For the revolution against Watanabe when he's deemed dead. Right. So yeah, this was them preparing for it. And again, they're trying to destroy the relationship between the Forsaken and Babylonia by tackling this middle ground, which could work for both sides, right? Make it seem like, oh, Babylonia is getting rid of it because then the Forsaken would be too weak that they'd have to accept more terms from Babylonia to continue their cooperation, right? That's probably what this is. I could go for one more. But yeah, if I had to guess, Generalissimo probably is a Ballard, but it's his code name or his alias. Fuck's sake! Noctis about to throw a punch at the bar counter. Stands against it with a quick glance at his surroundings. All property damage will be billed accordingly. Is how you're even keeping your head so cool? Well, here's some ice water to get you started. Noctis is on a bar counter and just stares at the wine glass, still clenching his teeth in burning rage. I might not seem like it, but I'm damn mad too. That might have been one lousy human being, but that doesn't give anyone the right to just take his life without a proper trial. But rage aside, I really want to know what Diamond and his people are up to coming to this town. If his growing soft and fingers laced, Noctis begins recounting Diamond's last words. That guy said they'd be spearheading an attack on the town with some hetero creatures. Meaning that Diamond and his people aren't operating alone. Makes sense. Who sent them here to spearhead the attack, though? It's the $1 million question here. I'm guessing it's this Generalissimo he was talking about. I'm having trouble seeing where this Generalissimo fits in the picture, since Diamond said he belonged to Forsaken. Beats me. For all we know, this Generalissimo might very well be Nigel. But to reach Babylonia, you have no idea what's happened to the Forsaken or Watanabe. Sucks the guy got smoked before we made him spill more beans, though. What was the poison, though? Probably some sort of magnetic substance. It's something Nigel would inject into his targets with his weapons. Oh! Magnetics. Oh, I see. Because again, the vital fluid is an artificial thing. Once it's inside the target's body, you can cause a cardiac arrest with it. If the target's a human, or paralyze the target's mind if they're a construct, which kills them eventually. That's how he's managed to smoke his targets even if the attack itself isn't fatal. Oh, I see. So there are traces of metal in, or not traces of metal, but like those magnetic properties themselves. That's why it can't be traced as like a regular poison. That actually makes a lot of sense. Interesting, it's a poison that can work on both humans and constructs, affecting them differently. Wow, that is a very scary poison. No, I guess it actually is a good thing that barely anyone knows how to do this. Sounds like one hell of a man. That's an admirable gift that has turned formidable now that he's no longer a friend. But what Diamond said is a little weird if you think about it. I mean, how are they able to control hetero creatures? Did anything catch your eye when you fought them? Well, one thing did strike me as weird. The elephant-like hetero creature that I fought were pretty docile. Weren't super combative. They were just super particular about their food, though. Oh yeah, targeting the wheat. Right. Yeah, it did only choose to attack that area, generally. Or specifically. Not to mention, even when they attacked, it was like they were just stomping around and stuff. They weren't doing anything serious. There was this one time when you came across a hetero creature in a forest of a heterozone whose ecology was complicated. Unlike anything you've seen before. And ecology like that is perhaps susceptible to exploitation. I guess I described it as being led rather than controlled. Oh, and because they always use the wheat here, that's basically like their... That's basically like the honey to attract bears or bees, right? Because we had a similar situation where someone or something was being targeted because it... No, yeah, because it was in that extra chapter. It was in Gedevic's chapter, but that's much later in the story. Where it's like all the like hetero creatures or corrupted specifically that were attacking the area with the school, they targeted the towers which had a specific scent to them. So this was probably one of those initial ways that they were controlling those creatures. I see, so that's where it kind of first started out. Like what I did with them using wheat, right? If that's the case, then all you need to do is keep the town safe from an attack now, is to either drive the hetero creatures away, or bait them into leaving before they get here. I see, that's why they probably also use the Harvest Festival, not only because a lot of wheat is being used for it, like for the alcohol and stuff, but again, people would be caught up in the attack because they don't necessarily directly attack humans, it's just like they're being thrown there, and they just sow chaos with their own presence. If done right, you'll be able to hold the hetero creatures at bay without Babylonia's help. We just gotta figure out where they keep those hetero creatures hidden now. Remember those hooligans that... Hey, stop judging a book by its cover. I know this is probably what the kids seem like, but they never done anything more condemnable. And wreaking havoc on the town is simply out of question. Hey, who says I'm talking about those followers of yours? Oh, you mean those underlings that hang around Diamond? Diamond's hooligans hang around a deserted brewery nearby town, according to one Noctis' follower. Oh yes, because again, the brewery would be using wheat juice. All the food they brought before the Harvest Festival is probably what they used. Yeah, it is. It's like that. It's like the carrot on a string that you're just pulling them away to like move forward. You want the carrot? Want it? Come on, move forward. There is a good chance that they're operating out of the brewery. Well, we know where they are now, so I say we go and bust them. I get ready to get the show on the road, knock this hops off the chair. I think we should probably try getting in touch with the mayor before. I just tried that. Wasn't able to reach out to him or that snobby son of his. Surprised that Noctis tried to reach out to people instead of just jumping the gun. What are you laughing at? I just find you kind of reliable now. You don't say. But I guess I've grown used to how number 21 and Vera roll now, after spending all this time working with them. But there's just me now, and you of course, partner. I can't help but want to ask, do you think we can really pull this off? No doubt about that at all. I mean, since we're part of this town now. Well, guess I'll pay the brewery a visit on my own then. They'll have a harder time spawning me that way. I want you to promise me this. Promise you what? Since you're just there to stop them from attacking the town, I want you to promise me that you'll avoid confronting them head on while you're there. Right, of course. And that's if Nigel shows up too, of course. Alright, fine, totally got it. I promise you I'm not gonna lay your finger on him even if Nigel shows up. Knocks his fingers pop a few times as he puts his clenched hand up against his chest. Tell he's trying his best not to lose his cool. I have every faith in you. Noctis looks taken aback but quickly nods as he pushes your hand back ever so slightly with his fist. I got this, partner. There is just one more thing. What is it? And you're eyeing for Noctis, but he doesn't seem to pick up the hint. Say, you don't think this coating could use some toning down? What do you mean, partner? I look great. No, you don't. Fuck off. Nah, I'm gonna be a Noctis. Fuck off. Like, come on, if it's Noctis, he's obviously just gonna throw a bomb first. Don't tell me someone's gonna be hiding from the ceiling. Is this the map of the town? But if it was that guy, the real map should be somewhere else. Plus so many minions. Smart. He knows Nigel well. These bottles. Is it gas? Oh, probably trying to swap drinks with the gas. Oh shit! Fuck off. Yeah, fuck you too, bitch. You might be aware. There's oil in the package, not food. Damn it, I didn't get to read all the way. Remaining gas and detonator. Better watch out. Oh shit! Didn't even notice that. Wait, what about here? Looks like some sort of sign. Is that a message hidden out there? Oh, maybe to specify what wine's like okay and what's not. Watch it! Fuck off. This feels like Braille. It's him. Nope. In the door. It's him. I knew him. But where's the switch? The switch is here. There we go. Got it. Gotcha. This should be the real plan. But the photo and the symbol. Command it.
Oi, oi! もう終わりか?
Good luck
ただのウォームアップだろ.
I mean, just yeah, sure, Goblin John. He fell out of contact with Noctis from signal disruption when he entered the deserted brewery. Can't help but worry for him. But having been assigned the job of a bartender, you know that you should probably focus on what's at hand here. Luckily we haven't got too busy today. My bad. This bar becomes packed with people around midnight because of the Harvest Festival. You know that you need to get yourself in the place ready before all the people come. Pull a puff of air at each of the wine glasses you just finished washing. Wipe them with a dry cloth into the glitter and hang them on a wine glass rack. Seeing your work, you feel accomplished. I think I'm getting better at this. Right then, with the rings that come from the door, in comes the night's first customer. As the tavern's regulars make a beeline straight for the bar counter as soon as they come through the door. This particular customer, however, walks slowly with light taps on the floor. How you doing today? Apparently, having noticed the seats at the counter, they walk up this way and pick a seat to sit on. My apologies, but I can't see anything. To the faint light, you now see he's wearing sunglasses, behind which sits a pair of dark, lifeless eyes sitting chilled on your spine. Anything you'd like to get yourself started? Anything will do. Guess I'll go with whatever you make me, says the man with a polite smile. At the same time, you find a smile menacing in a way you can't quite place. Damn, he literally decided to just take the fight to me then. May I respect it. You know, this is probably a false alarm, but you can't say the sick shake it off. You're a construct, I presume. Can I get you some alcohol-flavored electrolyte then? Well, sure. Pulled a bottle of low alcohol-flavored electrolyte from the rack and poured a golden aromatic liquid into a glass. There you go, sir. Thank you. Searching for the glass for a few seconds with his left hand, he finally finds it and grabs it. While at it, his left shoulder cape flutters to the wind, filling the empty space underneath. Blind, single arm. Stop cold. When it hits you, that you might have heard about this persona non grata. Nigel? The man, however, has no way of knowing who you really are. You know this is your chance to get him to talk without his guard on, so you later share what you've learned with Noctis. I gather you're from Babylonia, sir? I used to be. After a long pause, Nigel starts speaking again. I'd come to Earth many times, but our mission locations were only the places I'd visited on Earth. I presume you're here on another mission? Yes, correct. He took the wine glass instead of to his mouth, he holds the wine glass up to his ear. Not exactly your type of drink, I see? I never had any alcohol. This is to the liquid circle around the glass and swirls it. I do have a friend. He's a real drinker. A friend? Huh. Thing is, though, is that he really can't hold his drink. Doesn't give a damn about what he does when he gets drunk. It's a quality he has that I don't. With a barely discernible smile, Nigel chucks the drink at one go. Don't think I'll ever get used to this. Puts the glass down and stands up. One question before I go. Sure. What is it? What would you differentiate a construct from a human? That's an interesting question, I gotta say. Take as long as you possibly can with wiping the bar counter, all the while keeping your eye on Nigel. As a bartender, I guess the difference is that one takes alcohol while the other takes electrolytes. Is that so? Nigel leaves the money for the drink on the table and turns around. Say, how would you answer that question as a commander from Babylonia, though? So you heard the question, that you reached your hand to the drawer behind the counter for the service pistol in it. A second later, you feel a pang of excruciating pain coming from your left arm. Quickly occupies the left side of your body. Had no idea when you even got hit. Have you taken your eye off him for even a split second this entire time? Oh, did he put the poison like it on the glass when he was holding it? It sinks at the numbness that quickly spreads across your body. How in the world did you? Seems like Noctis has told you about me. Send him my way. It's high time that we got things settled between us now. I look forward to hearing your answer to the last question from him. Nigel pushes his sunglasses up and slowly makes his way toward the door. And just a word of advice. There's no way for you and this town's mayor to stop the Generalissimo. Nigel. Nigel's fainting footsteps are the last thing you hear before the world around you slips into darkness. Damn. Dude, Nigel's badass. Damn, another potential character who could have been cool throughout the series. Damn shame. Damn shame. But alright, with that, I think we're at a good point for the stream for today. We're 63% done, so I think we should be at a good point. Or should I do one more? Well, I guess I can do one more, because again, it is hard to do like all the voices all the damn time, so I guess I might as well do this and then get the other stuff done next time. So, one last one. Just one last one. The big desk in front of Maz lies an open envelope with its letter in his hand. This is ridiculous. As he tears the letter into pieces and throws them into the ashtray. The cigar he just lit up, he sets the piece aflame, instead turning them into ash. Max racks his brain over what he just read about in the letter as fumes of smoke rest for the cigar, all the while wishing he could easily burn up the mess he's just read about. Oakley. Am I getting too old or what? The drawer he opens is a yellowed photograph of a family of 3 standing in the middle of a wheat field. They all seem very happy in the picture, so much so that Max can hardly tell the young man looking back at him for the picture is himself. Max snaps back to reality at the knocks coming for the door. People rarely visit him around this time, but he figures it's probably someone he knows. Today he didn't get a call for the security downstairs. Come on in. Fan. Max casts Fan an unceremonious look before returning to all the papers on the table. Cigar hanging from his mouth. Say, why don't you take the day off patrol and just go out and enjoy the festivities? I mean, do you remember how the Harvest Festival came about in the first place, Dad? Sorry, I'm trying my best with the Southern accent, okay? I'm not great at it, probably. I'm just trying. I'm trying to do it very heartily, too, because it's a piece of fiction, so I'm just doing it just for the sake of it. It might not be good, it might be completely incorrect, it might be making fun of people, but I apologize in advance if I am, but I'm just doing it just for the sake, based on, how they dress in the situation and everything, and how, sometimes we're punishing Grey Raven, we tend to lighten the mood a bit with this, you know? Aside from all the drear and despair. As he keeps his stare on Fan, Max puts down the pen. Of course. That was when this town had its first big harvest, and your mom was super happy, so we decided to make this day the Harvest Festival. Right. She happened to have passed away on the very same day, too. Max looks away from Fan once again returns to the papers. People die all the time, especially with the world as it is right now. You could have saved it, though. Max lets out alongside the remark as they appearing older beyond his age. That's enough for today. No, not today. Fan pulls out a service pistol from Babylonia, which is on Max. And I thought they hated Babylonia's guts. Tammy's people had made the deserted brewery outside the town their temporary gathering place. And they just decided to call this town their home, what the hell? Infuriated, Diamond tries to smack the dust off his outfit. Just how much longer do I still need to be here? Beats me. They've been getting along so well with the people in town that you can't even tell they're from Babylonia. That's something I never saw coming. We need to get rid of them before the Forsaken wreak havoc here. But if that fails, there is this other person I'm sure you won't have trouble doing in. Diamond shoves his weapon, service pistol from that Babylonian's given one, to all members of its operational forces, to Fan's hands. So, who's this other person you were talking about? Well, lo and behold, the mayor. Your father, that is. Well, guess I'll take that as a no. Thought you wouldn't say no, though. After hearing you talk about how he killed your mother and all. No, I've got this. Fan takes the pistol and puts it in his pocket. We just need him dead for our plan to work, and you can do whatever you see fit with the townspeople after that. Don't think they'll all be able to stick together like they have with Max gone, though. If I had a chance they'll stick together, they're all just here for the food and shelter. No way to put their life on the line to fight for the Forsaken. Different knowledge to cease right at all. Are you seriously counting on him? Well, we got you guys too. See, this guy and us, we're not the same. He's never killed. Have you ever killed one of your loved ones yourself then? Sensing provocation in Nigel's tone, Diamond shows an irritated look, all while knowing full well that Nigel can't see a thing. See, I can kill anyone, so long as the pay is good enough. Not saying another word, Nigel pushes his glasses and walks out the brewery. Don't you forget what you need to do. You and your people are supposed to clean up after Fan if he ever screws up. Diamond doesn't know if Nigel heard him, but he needs to get around to this part of the plan himself now. Man, what an oddball. Diamond checks the time in his terminal and sees it's time for him to get changed and blend into the festivities. Something he enjoys more than toying with his targets from where they can't see him. Looking to the barrel, however, Max remains unfazed. The Forsaken is coming. You need to get out of here now. People can do whatever they see fit, but I'm not leaving. This is my turf. Fan is taken aback at Max's calm, but somewhat solemn tone. Keeping the pistol trained on Max, he walks up this way. Are you out of your mind? Even you could stop him. This place will be destroyed. This place that Mom left us with. Fan presses the gun at Max's head now, unable to keep his hand from shaking. This is your last warning. Leave this town now or else. But you're wrong. People here come and go. The buildings here go down but get built back up. There'll be new we when the old ones die. And that's the way things here have been for years and years. The only thing that's going to destroy New Oakley, this place that Oakley left us with, is if I back off now and let them take over this place. Shut your trap. You don't deserve to say that name. Straight into the barrel, Max puts a cigar into his mouth and takes a long puff. Well, I suppose you just don't know your mother that well. The story goes, Fan's mother came from money, and only decided to stay on Earth with Max after getting kicked out of the family. Mom was nice and gentle, but you and those good-for-nothing refugees took advantage of that, to the point that she had to sacrifice herself. Oakley became severely ill after giving birth to Fan. She had a chance to go back to Babylonia for treatment, but decided to yield her place to those in need, which eventually left her to die from deteriorating conditions. She gets head of all of Fan's accusations. Max opens the drawer and takes out the photo, one he's seen only too many times. Then he traces a finger over it. You see, Oakland was a lot smarter and stronger than I could ever hope to be. Max, check out this suite. It's bolting. You're not supposed to be running it with a baby in you. So let's make today the Harvest Festival. We'll all celebrate this day going forward. I want people living here to be happy day in and day out. There are only so many of us living here, though. That's not true, because I'm going to make this place accessible to all so that people who want to stay here can stay. Compare this town today recognize our principles of equality and neutrality. And they'll be able to find work in the place they belong to right here in New Oakley, regardless of what they might have been in the past. Wow. Someone who also wanted to create a safe haven for others. New Oakley, you said. And that's the name of this town. Though we needed a name for this town first to make recruitment. There's no way that we'll be able to expand the farming area with just the two of us. People want to see a sea of golden wheat fields and feast on bread. Not to mention we'll have to manage people and fend ourselves from the corrupted. Seems like we've got an endless list of things to do now. It's true that we'll be running into a bunch of problems. We'll be solving just as many. And I trust that you'll be there for me through it all, Max. See this week? I'm sure my little town will be able to stick through thick and thin and come back strong just like it. So what do you say? Are you in this with me? Well, of course. because it was her dream. It was her hope. I'm not going back to Babylonia, Max. If you ever try to talk me into doing that. Because Oakley, as she turns off the safety on her gun and aims it at the people around her. I'll kill you all and then... Easy there with that thing. Holy shit, I think she means business there. But what are you gonna do about your... Oakley shakes her head with a wry smile. I might be able to make a full recovery if I go back. Except they'll never let me leave. I'll be able to see everything and everyone I love again. Not entirely wrong. The idea of death really scares me, Max. I'm an atheist. I do think that death is the end of it all, but the idea of having to leave you, our adorable son, everyone in this town, and the golden sea of weed from my dream, I don't see how that's any different from just killing me. They flashed her into the air, tears trickling down her face. So go tell them that I'll not be going back to Babylonia. That this is a decision that I, Oakley Norman, have made of my own volition. Oh my god. Norman? You mean Norman Mining Corps? If I'm fated to part ways with this world, it'd rather happen right here surrounded by everyone I love. I really like this town, because people can kiss goodbye to their past and live however they want here. So Max, I'm listening. Promise me this. Promise me that you'll stand on guard for this place and the people here, and the freedom here. Then she wobbles a few times before her gun drops to the ground, making a loud thud. Oakley! Oakley! Doc! Kudos to both you and her, I guess. See, you and your mother are the only two to have ever pointed a gun at me in my life. But if what you're saying is true, then why'd you never say a thing? Because Oakley never wanted you to think that this place and you prevented her from getting the help she needed. She wanted you to see death as something that happens naturally. And the fact that you made the decision to be turned into a construct only goes to show just how much you like her. In that you both never followed the path people laid down for you. And just like how Oakley chose to stay here, so am I. I'll be keeping New Oakley until my very last moment. But you, fan, are free to go for a future you want now, being the big man you already are. Dale. At the end terminal sitting on Max's desk pings her a notification. It's from that commander from Babylonia. It's a message that reads, "Watch out, Forsaken are coming." The room catches his attention while he tries to decide if he can really trust this message. As at an instant, he flips his desk and flings it at Fan's side. The desk is sliced in half, but a second later, a dagger materializes out of thin air. A dagger driven deep into Max, who now stands in front of Fan. Blood soaks right out of his body instantly. Damn! Fan pulls Max behind himself without any hesitation and starts sending bullets flying at where he thinks the perpetrator is. You need to get out of here and go to... Following a coughing fit, blood gushes out from Max's mouth. And meet the commandant. They probably had a few things figured out. And there's no way of stopping Babylonia and the Forsaken from fighting each other. They're dead. What about you? Boy, this almost feels itchy. I'm not gonna die. Now go and do what you need to do as the sheriff of this town. As for action, Fan leaves Max in a comfortable position and gets out through the window. Oakley, please do bless our son in this town. Damn. That was crazy. Damn, even Fan's mother, man. Like, this place was like a safe haven for people. And it was a place for like a fresh new start, right? A hope for a better future. Because it's like, it'd be the fresh start that you'd want after all the punishing's gone, right? Every human deserves a chance at life. And interesting that it's like, her last name was Norman, and that's probably why, right? Kicked out of her family, being given permission to go to Babylonia, Norman Mining Corps, of course. And yeah, that would make sense, like, if she did go, they probably would force her to stay and never leave, right? Because as part of Norman Mining Corps, her safety and assurance would take top priority. But then again, with the Norman family was kind of living hell for Teddy and her siblings as well, so I can't say that she was crazy about not going. Like, sure, people want to survive, but what's living you don't get to choose, right? Shit. Well, that was a nice, interesting piece of information to learn. Even seeing that little tie-up over here as well. And again, it's like seeing what we already know about Norman Mining Corps from Teddy's part in the story. It's like, it really does assure, like, damn, she really did have to kind of choose. Like, she did choose what way of life she wanted to live and how it would end. Especially in such a dire situation like the punishing. But alright guys, I think that's going to be the end of the stream for tonight. I do at least have this almost 2/3 done, so the next stream that I do for this on Saturday, we will complete that and then we'll go through 1 day breaks. I am kind of glad that it's not too crazy to actually finish these floating records as opposed to like main story chapters, because I've had times where it's like it takes me 3 or 4 streams to finish this, but so far it's like it's been 2 and 2 so far, so we can definitely get this done, possibly by the end of the year, I'd hope, and be all caught up with it, because I've already done all the later ones, so the only ones I have to do are this one. Like I said, Wanchi's about to have to do an interlude stream, but hopefully have like some extra fighting content to put on the side. Then these other two were Han Ying and Bridget. But yeah, overall, I'm really liking actually learning about these other characters more. It's really cool. Especially like the setting where it's like, it's their own separate story and not just like, you're not trying to forcefully intermingle them into the main story so hard that it just like ruins the tension or the excitement and the thrill going on with this kind of like apocalyptic world story. But anyway, let me give a shout out to Godwin John for showing up to the stream. Glad to see another person who appreciates the Punching Ravens game. And we will still do East Nine Monster Knocks tomorrow, as per usual. And like I said, either Monday or Tuesday, I'll continue with Trails in the Sky first chapter. So that I've already done a good amount of grinding, so we can actually move on with the main story. Which I am glad for, since at least I can try to finish the demo as soon as possible to give myself enough time before the official release. Anyway, you guys did enjoy the stream by now already found the channel, please make sure to leave a follow, much appreciated. Check my YouTube channel where I post a lot of VODs, subscribe there as well. Join Discord, you guys not already. Links to all those are on the channel. But this has been Santos Vice, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. I'll see you guys next time. We're out.
ある人は極様、ある人は嘘つき。他にも例えば歴史のハと臆病な独裁者、希望つぶしの大罪人など、周りの目は気にしません。しかしあなたの見方を知りたい。私は一体どう変わりましたか。